Oh, dude, we got a live one for you, man. This is hilarious. The meltdown. What up? What up, Noah? Can you hear me? How my vocals, fam? How you been? How was your weekend? Yo, I swear to God, bro, this is like the funniest video I ever seen in my life. You just can't make this up, bro. Like everybody getting crazy over this. Well, not everybody, but certain people, and I think it's hilarious. I'm over here trying to. There we go. Can I see it? Yeah, I can see it now. There we go. All right. Says it's coming in excellent. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, bro, like this video is insane, bro. It's insane. I'm just gonna leave this like this. Viewer activity, boom, boom, boom. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, man, because we got a banger for you, man. Hold on. I'm just trying to go through my features, make sure all my features are on. Because last time they had me on a messed up feature. I want to make sure everything is in order because I ain't trying to mess this one up. Ain't trying to get this one taken down. All right. How many of y'all watch Super Bowl, man? How many of y'all out there watch Super Bowl? Y'all like the game? Did y'all appreciate the game? Yeah. Y'all appreciate the game? Well, anyways, man, we got some people that watched it, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It don't matter really what Super Bowl. I think it was like the last Super Bowl that I probably tuned, you know what I'm saying, tuned into a Super Bowl for real. Like halftime show. I normally don't tune into the halftime show. That's usually when I get up, go to the bathroom, and I get my I re get my snacks. I get my I replenish my drink. I do what I do. You know what I mean? That's usually when I get up. I got the time to leave, and that's what I do as a man. I really don't pay attention. To be honest with you, I think that's the only time, most of the time, people are really actually watching the halftime show. Is females are usually the only ones that's the only time you get them to sit there and watch. It's usually during the halftime show because most men don't really care. To be honest with you, we really don't care. Like I said, that's when we get up and go and do our thing. Like, well, that's me personally. Everybody I've ever known, that'd be the time when we'd all get up, we'd all be watching the Super Bowl, and we get up and be like, yo, let's hurry up, let's get what we gotta get. We take a run to the store real quick. We'll go to the store real quick, get whatever it is we need, the necessities we forgot or whatever we ran out of, and then we rush right back. You know what I mean? But I mean, this Super Bowl was lackluster, to be honest with you. This Super Bowl was very lackluster. But for some, this was this was a moment. This was a highlight in their life. How they upset and vexed and don't even know what he's saying. That's facts. That's true. It's funny. I've seen a lot of people talking about, how it's the worst Super Bowl performance, but yet supposedly they weren't going to watch it. They were going to watch the alternative. So I don't get how it's the worst and how you didn't, like it if you didn't watch a performance. You know what I mean? If you didn't watch a performance, I don't get how you upset. Now, I can say a few things. So on Bad Bunny's performance, I think all of the performers that were performing, their vocals were off. I get it. It was in an open space. So it sounded like their vocals were off. But what I can say is I can give the theatrics of it a thumbs up. You knocking on the door? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I can say it was well put together. There was a lot of history in it. Watching it, I was actually like, wow, bro. He crammed a lot into this one little thing. So the visuals were great. The visuals were 100% great. Like, he started off with the sugar cane plantation. I liked it. There was a lot of history. There was a lot. And the reason why, I think it was something for everybody in America. because like, New York, there was a lot of New York, history in there. And I appreciated that as well. And I think it missed a lot of people that didn't understand the significance. I see the boxing, it had the Mexican Puerto Rican rivalry. I mean, there was just a lot of stuff in there I think people missed. I think the one thing I missed that people said is there was two dudes grinding. I missed that completely. You know what I'm saying? I missed that completely. But then again, like I said, I usually get up, go out and, grab something real quick. But I wanted to check out the Super Bowl to see, to be honest with you, my biggest thing is he going to perform in a dress? That was my biggest thing. Is this dude actually really going to go out there and wear a dress? Because there was a lot of people saying it. I said, please don't do that, man. Please don't go out there and do that. But if you do, hey, whatever, man. That's all you. But please just don't do that. But he didn't. To my surprise, man, there was more in the the artistry and just the whole way they put it together, man. The way it was orchestrated, I think it was very well done, man. And come to find out that the sugarcane bushes were people. There were actual people in the bushes. I guess that's why he had that height requirement for 5'10". That's why he was saying that you have a height requirement. It's like, yo, 5'10", why? I think it's because of them bushes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Shout out to you, Roberto. Yeah, shout out to you. That rumor was made by MAGA. Okay. Yeah, and I was seeing a lot of that, but my whole thing was like, hey, let's see. All the hype around it is what really made you want to go watch it. You got to admit it. The hype, the controversy, the hate, it's like you really were tuned in because you wanted to see, even the people that said they weren't going to watch it, watched it. Because it's like you wanted to see if it was really going to be that bad. I get, hey, you know what they say when, you get hated on or, you got a lot of controversy around your name, even if it's negative, it's definitely good for press. It's 100% good for press, man. The bro, people got paid like $19 an hour. Are you serious? Damn, so it cost them a lot to put this on. I saw that was besides the truck or car twice. Okay. But it was still good. Yeah, he did his thing, man. He definitely did his thing. Benito did his thing, man. Especially, like I said, I could relate to the New York side of it. I could relate to the, the plantation side. And I mean, just the whole thing I could. The boxing. I was loving it. I loved the performance. The performance. And then when he put out, I love it. He's like, this is what y'all asked for. This is what y'all wanted. And then he had Lady Gaga. And then she was singing in English. I like that part. That was a slick little slate. You know what I mean? He said that when he was going. He's like, this is what y'all wanted. And then boom, he had Lady Gaga. I think it was Bruno Mars's song or whatever. I forgot who it was that sung the song, but he had her singing in English. And he surprised a lot of people because I really thought that it was going to be something totally different from what everybody was saying. It's like we're going to go watch a horror show or horror film. But nah, man, he did really well. But yo, you guys got to check this out, man. Let me just start this. Let me stop rambling. Again, psyops. Yup. Yeah, man. Yeah. That. You know what? Teresa got a great point with the psyop thing because I'm noticing this. The more that I watch social media, I'm starting to realize, man, it's making people divided. A lot of us are divided. Boricua, huepa. Hey, so, we definitely getting divided with all of this social media stuff. You'll see one post about this one not liking this one, about this race hating that race, or somebody saying something racial. And that one little clip becomes a big thing. And then other people start making clips and we just start becoming divided. But yo, y'all got to check this out, man. Y'all got to really check this out. I'm glad to see that y'all is in the building. I wanted to go through this because Megyn. Yo, just watch, man. You can't make this shit up, bro. She blows a gasket. She 100% blows a gasket, bro.
Presumably because he was watching Bad Bunny. And the truth is that both the alternative show,
Yo,
and the
I even found out that Trump was watching it. We caught Trump watching it.
Ultimately didn't happen.
Ya
Many
tu sabes.
expected Green Day and Bad Bunny to use the biggest show in the world of television to skewer the president and rail against ICE. But actually they didn't. Now, I'm no Bad Bunny apologist. I didn't know.
Yo, you know what's messed up? I seen this lady that said a bunch of Latina hoes or something like that. That's what she wrote. Like, are you serious? Like dancing and shaking their ass. I'm like, where the hell did she get off that these people are hoes and like what? Because they're like, that blew my fucking mind when I seen that. I mean, you could see a lot of the divisiveness and racism, you know, amongst a lot of people, man. It was like a lot of people, man. There was Latinos that was hating on it, bro. Latinos were even hating on it.
About him, actually, before yesterday. And also don't speak Spanish. But I actually really enjoyed his performance. I thought the staging, the choreography, the theatre was the best I've ever seen in a halftime show. And actually, the message was about togetherness and love and unity. What's wrong with that?
So this isn't the only clip we're going to go through. We're going to go through other people's things, too. You're going to see Geraldo Rivera and see what he says with Cuomo and Turning Point USA. This is hilarious, man. How many of you guys caught the Turning Point USA? Did any of you guys watch it? I seen some of it. But how many of y'all caught that?
He didn't perform in Spanish to prove a point. He always sings in Spanish, just as Luciano Pavarotti sings in Italian. The criticism of the whole thing is that he sang in a language spoken by 60 million Americans, including the Secretary of State. Is that a problem? Like I said, the president used to...
How many Spanish speakers or anybody take Spanish? How many people can speak Spanish in this chat? Put it, I don't know, put a W in the chat if you know how to speak some type of Spanish. If you can order a taco. If you can order a taco in Spanish... Tame carne asada, like, yo, if you could speak just a little bit, enough to get by, put it in the chat. All right, put a W in the chat if you could speak a little bit of Spanish. I mean, yeah.
Play Pavarotti's Nessun Dorma at his campaign rallies. It even played at the end of the emotional 2024 RNC as Trump accepted his nomination just days after being shot. Nessun Dorma, to remind you, is entirely in Italian. Well, I'll be joined by my panel in a moment. But first, let's hear.
Oh, wow. What you got? You got a new, oh, shoot. I like it. I like it. I like it. You got a new avatar. That's what's up. All right. So we got two here. We got two. Oh, we got three. All right. All right, man. So we got three Spanish speakers in here. You don't have to speak it fluently. I just want to know if you know enough to order yourself a taco.
From the host of the Megyn Kelly Show, Megyn Kelly. Megyn, great to have you back on Uncensored.
Yo, she spazzes out, bro.
Great to see you back sort of on your feet and looking so well, Piers.
Do you know what? I took my first steps. I felt like Neil Armstrong today. I was walking.
Yo, that shit is fucking crazy. Who said that? They saying that they represented the passport girls in DR. What the fuck? That is wild. What is that on? It has to be on X. You seen that? Or are you just being funny? Or are you being dead ass?
Along my high street with two crutches, 24 days after face planting. And it felt like a moment. I was like out of the house, suddenly breathing fresh air again.
All right, come on, let's go.
You know what? We're the youngest we'll ever be for the rest of our life.
Theatre. It was the best I've seen. Just the most extraordinary kind of Broadway on steroids piece of theatre. I also thought it wasn't remotely divisive politically in the end. His Grammys speech was, but his performance, I thought, was actually a lot of things which I would have thought people on the conservative right would applaud. It was about love. A couple actually got married for real in the middle of it. He was preaching about unity, not just the United States of America, but the wider Americas. What was the problem, Megyn?
A certain male gesture is coming to mind, but I'm not sure I can do it on this show. No, it wasn't about what he was actually going to do during the middle of the Super Bowl performance. It's about him. It's about him being chosen as the Super Bowl performer.
She said it's about him. Yo, she got to go back to Botox, bro. She got to go back to Dr. Giggles. I swear, bro, because she just got 4 wrinkles as soon as she said him. I'm being dead serious, bro. She just aged like 30 years right there. She is upset, bro.
Who's been an outspoken critic, of course, of the Trump administration and of America and our anti-immigrant policies. This is long before the current controversy over ICE. He doesn't want illegals deported from this country. Well, too bad, because the majority of Americans do want.
He's not saying that he doesn't want illegals deported. It's in the fashion that they're being deported. That's his issue. That's Bad Bunny's issue, is in the way that they're being treated and being deported. It has nothing to do with him not, of course he understands it. He lives in Puerto Rico. They deport people all the time in Puerto Rico because a lot of people try to go to Puerto Rico because, it's a quick access to the U.S. And they deport a lot of people in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? So he's not saying that. He's not saying he doesn't want them deported. He's against the treatment in which in the manner that they're acting in.
That and are not shy about pushing for it. And that's why President Trump got elected. So he and his little buddies over at Green Day never miss a chance to bash the United States of America. He got selected because Jay-Z, for some reason, has got the choice over who performs at our Super Bowl, who's another problem. Don't even get me started on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is...
Whoa, come on, girl. There's a lot of people in that list. There's a lot of people in that list, girl. You better chill with that.
He choosing who's appropriate for American children to watch during our seminal sporting event. And I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million?
Nah, she needs to get laid, though. You say she need to actually get laid. She look like she hasn't got a good stiff one in her. Woo! She need to get laid.
Spanish speakers in the United States. We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't.
Look how mad she got. Not for the Latinos. She almost turned into a Latina her damn self, bro. Not for the Latinos. Like, she big mad, bro. Can you imagine investing your energy in something such as the halftime Super Bowl, bro, and being this upset and this enraged? I mean, this is just political theater. That's all it is, bro. This is political theater.
A lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime.
So you see that? We don't need a black. So, it's all about race. With her, this is all about race right here. It has everything to do with anybody that is like, we don't need a black national anthem. We don't need this. Why is any of this stuff being brought up? Is there that? I mean, are we going crazy here? She's definitely crashing out. Like, what is the purpose behind all of this? You can't hear it? Hold on. Let me see if I turn it up.
Okay, what is the national language, officially, the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out, that people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay, right, so you're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you...
No, it's your attitude, sweetie. Yeah, it's your attitude, sweetie, and there is no national language. Yes, of course, our street signs are in English and stuff like that, but there is no, you know what I'm saying? There's no national language, bro. There's no national language. Now, most people do speak English. Most people do. But I mean, shoot. I mean, where we perform, San Francisco or something like that. That's not, that's a Spanish name. Where the actual Super Bowl was at. What was it? San Francisco, right? That's where the Super Bowl was at. The name is Spanish right there.
Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump...
My mic is off. Yo, you can't... Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? If you can't hear me, let me know. Put it in the comments if you can't hear me. My mic, is it off? Somebody say my mic is off. Is my mic off? If you can't hear me, put it in the comments, man. Because right here it's showing that my mic is showing up. Oh, you can hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Because it's showing right here that my mic is good. All right, somebody probably just trolling me. Let's get back to it. Anyways, we got to get back to it, man. Threw me off.
Non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language, officially the national language of the United States of America?
I mean...
So you calling it basura? What part of the town you from? What part of the BX you from, man? I grew up in Cortland. What part of the BX you from, man? Because I'll tell you like this, bro, that, what do you mean it was mierda? Basura, traki. You're saying it's basura? That's wild, bro. That's wild. Being from New York, you heard? Being from the towns, that's wild. Because he represented New York real well over there, man.
English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out, that people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay, right, so
there's a push, and I don't think there ever will be, because it has to go through legislation. There was an executive order signed, but that's nothing. That's basically just political posturing. That's all it is. That executive order is political posturing. I'm surprised Megyn Kelly being around and being as seasoned of a reporter as she's been. You know, she's always been on Fox News, I think MSNBC and all of that. Being as seasoned as she is, you would think that she would know more before she speaks.
I'm going to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken.
Did she just say a meatloaf and some fried chicken? She talk about no spice at all. See, that's the way she like it. She like it with no flavor at all. A fucking meatloaf. You might as well just say you like your fucking hamburger and a fucking, in a roll. Like, what are we talking about? What the hell's a meatloaf? Fucking egg? Like, I mean, I've never had like a good, that's like basically just having a fucking hamburger all mixed up in one. And she talk about American apple pie. I like apple pie, to be honest with you. I like the Dutch apple pie, to be real with you. But she said it needs to be American, like apple pie. She likes that warm apple pie, huh? Y'all remember that? Yeah, bitch.
And an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Okay, two things.
She definitely
One,
showing
you've
her
conceded
true
you
colors.
don't have a national language in the United States officially. And secondly, the language you do want to be your official language is my language. The language of the country you think has gone to pot. So
Wepa! Yo, Morgan just fried her. He just fried her. Because, see, and that is one of the biggest things with America, bro, is America is a melting pot of cultures. That's what makes America what it is. It's not just one type of culture. It's not like in England. It's not like in Spain. The reason why America is the greatest country in the world is, if you really think about this, right? Do you know what makes us the superpower? It's not just geographically where we're located. It's the fact that we have the greatest minds from, there's no other country like America that has, I mean, you have one person from every country in the world, okay? China, Japan. There's not a country, there's not one person that grew up or was born in another country in this world that we don't represent here in America, in the States. That's why we kick everybody's ass in basketball. That's why we kick everybody's ass in everything we do, because we have the greatest minds from the entire world. Think about this. If basketball was just white men, would it be as entertaining? No. If football was just white men, if baseball was just white men, it would not be as entertaining. But now you get a mixture of all the best minds and all the best players with the best abilities from all over the world, from all over the globe. That's what makes us kick everybody's ass all day. All day. That's why we whip everybody's ass all day. Look at those jerseys that we're playing. You seen Gonzalez. You seen Malkovich. You seen all these different last names, man. Pravacci. Just, I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, I'm just making up fucking names. Whatever you want to say, you know you're going to get a mixture of everything. And that's what makes us kick everybody's ass every fucking, any day of the fucking week of the year. Anybody's ass under the sun, we whip they fucking ass because of the simple fact we got the greatest minds from all over the world that come here and become U.S. citizens. Not American citizens, U.S. citizens. That's the proper term, U.S. It doesn't say American passport. It says U.S. passport. And that's why this next part has me dying. Let's go.
My obvious follow-up is, Megyn, why do you want English as your national language if you think England is gone to hell in a handcart?
Facto.
Pierce, I think those medications for your hip have gone too far. You need to...
Nah, girl, that Botox done got your brain rotted, bro. That Botox is seeping into you know what I mean? Like, that Botox is literally seeping into your cranium, is swelling up your dome, man. Your cognitive functions is off, bro.
Dial back a pill or two, okay? We want something that we can all understand. I don't think Bad Bunny used his appearance to bash America, but I can't be sure because I didn't see any subcaptions on his Spanish language performance.
But what about...
You see that? I didn't see any subcaptions. What are you doing watching the show? I thought you hated the show. I didn't think you was gonna watch the show. But you guys do know that this is nothing new, right? This is nothing new. Now, I'm not trying to make this political, but let's just say a certain party always has an issue. And they've been had an issue with almost every Super Bowl. And I'm going to show you that too, that represented a certain diaspora, man. I try not to, here's the thing. I try not to get political. I try not to get racial because I know there's I have Caucasian fans. I have black fans. I have Latino fans, black, brown, just from everywhere. And I try not to get racial or political. Sometimes it happens. And I guess in this situation, it's hard not to because I kind of have to point out the bullshit. So, hey, just know I'm trying to come from a good place if I do bring up certain demographics, certain diasporas, and just, and certain parties. And mind you, I'm an independent. Just so y'all know, I'm an independent. I don't. So if I do talk about a party, which would be the Republican Party right now, because they're the ones with the issue, then, it's coming from a place of just me and my critiques towards them and the way their behavior has been, which goes completely against, I think, their Christian values. They preach they preach Christianity and all of this. This is what they preach. This is what they run on. This is what they run on. And they are not godly. Like, a lot of them are not acting, they are not being good to thy neighbor. Okay?
Pavarotti. So what about Pavarotti?
America haters.
What about Pavarotti, who Donald Trump in 2016 in particular would use at every campaign rally? He's used it at the RNC, right, as a triumphant, tub-thumping anthem. Well, no, hang on. Not only Pavarotti.
I've been to lots of Trump rallies. Pavarotti.
Yeah. And we remember the Trump rally where he used the Eminem song, right? And Eminem came out with the most scathing anti-American song ever. White America? And what's it called? The Marsh? Like, he definitely says a lot of that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Conservatives hated him. They wanted to cancel him. But what I'm trying to say is, like, we all know that music is a vehicle for people to talk, their beliefs, and they do get political. It's a political vehicle. It's nothing new. Bad Bunny is not like, groundbreaking anything right now. It's been this way since music started, bro. It's a way to express yourself.
He gets a song, maybe
but
two.
He sings, but when he sings Nessun Dorma in Italian, I don't see you leaping up and down going, I can't understand a word of it. You're probably singing along.
The slave masters, actually,
show, was he?
The slave masters did preach Christianity, and they were the worst. There was I think he was Catholic. I forgot. I think he was a priest, and he was on the Caribbeans, and he said he literally had to, I don't know. He had to rethink the way he saw things. This was a Christian man. That's what their whole thing was about, was going out and, teaching people Christianity and doing this, that, and the third. And guess what? He was a priest, bro. He was a priest. And he literally was dismembering. And I gotta bring that up. So I can show y'all, bro. This is wild. He's in Christopher Columbus's memoir, like the little thing that he wrote, his daily. And yeah, man, there was a lot of shit that happened, bro. They were talking about there was two little kids with parrots, and they were happy. They were walking around, and they literally beheaded them and thought it was funny. And these were people that were supposed Christians. That's what's wild.
Well, would you have minded if he was?
Yes, I would have, because we feature English-speaking performers at the quintessentially American event of the Super Bowl. We do Michael Jackson. We do Whitney Houston. We do great bands that love America, like American rap. That's a different situation. This guy who can't stand the country comes out and starts speaking in Spanish, and I'm sure the people in South...
Yo, she better stop it, because you know what's funny? She's all against that, right? But... do y'all remember the performance with Kid Rock, the you know what I'm saying, Turning Point USA's headlining performer? He was on that stage. He was on that stage when they had an issue, the Nipplegate. Remember the Nipplegate when we all seen titty? We all see, you know what I'm saying? We all seen some nipples on that stage, man. Yo, there's a lot of controversy. I'm going to pull them all up too, man. And that's what's wild about this.
Florida really enjoyed it. The people in an American territory, Puerto Rico, really enjoyed it. But the people in the heartland had no idea what the hell was happening. This is a guy who loves to parade around in a dress, who, again, hangs out with Jay-Z and his Epstein-loving pals, who gets up there when he's not bashing America with his pals at Green Day, who are from the far-left People's Republic of California, who have never missed a chance to rip on Trump, MAGA, half the country, or ICE, and that's something they...
Is that what we're doing now? If we disagree with the other party, we're anti-American? Because if that's true, then our president's anti-American. I mean, y'all remember John McCain, right? War hero, Republican. He's called a war hero, and in Trump's eyes, Trump said, and he supposedly loves the military. Like I said, I ain't trying to get political, but I just got to speak facts. He said he isn't a hero in his eyes because heroes don't get caught. Remember John McCain, the guy that stood there, and even though because his father was, high up and high ranking, they were going to let him go after his plane got shut down. He had broken legs, broken ribs, and he said, no, I'm not going to leave until all my men are gone. And they treated him like trash, bro. They were stepping on his legs, his broken legs, after his plane got shot down. Our president said he ain't even a war hero. Said heroes don't get caught. How anti-American is that? And that's our sitting president that said this. So what are we talking about here? She's a hypocrite. I'm just pointing out the facts, y'all. Like I said, the priest's name was, yes, good. This is all right, I got to remember this. Bartolome. Yes, that's the guy right there. Thank you. Damn, bro, I'm glad you in the chat. You guys want to hear this was crazy. It's a crazy story, but I got to look that up. He was a pal. Yes. Listen, that's crazy stories. But listen, we have, and let's be real. This isn't that long ago, man. A lot of this stuff isn't that long ago.
Share with Bad Bunny. That's not.
I'm not talking about the thing with the priest, but I'm talking about, slavery and everything. It wasn't that long ago, man. Let's be real. As far as history goes, it wasn't that long ago. Racism, segregation, that was not that long ago. So a lot of these undertones and the way that she's talking, it seems that
representative of what the heartland wants to see. And the heartland always gets the middle finger from people like Jay-Z, like Roger Goodell, who should know better, but he's a panderer who runs the NFL. And that's why you had probably closer to 10 million people turning the channel and turning to the Turning Point event, which was pro-American, which was absolutely beautiful, which had several references to God and faith and this country, which had a tribute to Charlie Kirk at the end of it, and talked about Jesus and how he can change your life.
You hear the hypocrisy? Talked about Jesus and how he could change your life, but we don't praise the same God. Because our God, whoever she saw, whatever Bible she's reading, I'm telling you, bro, it don't represent and reflect anything of what I think it was. I interpret it as. I must not be able to read. I actually can't. Shit. I'm a horrible reader, but yeah, man, she bugging.
That's what America's all about. We are founded as a Christian nation. We're still a Christian nation. And what we want is somebody up there to celebrate how freaking special this country is, not a bunch of people who can't stand us. And over what? Over our desire to get illegal immigrants who are raping and molesting our children.
Whoa. Chica, cálmate, chica. Chill out. You know what's crazy? Did you guys notice this? Supposedly we were going and we were picking up real gangbangers, MS-13, the savages of all savages, the savages that cannot be tamed, right? These guys were pistol-toting, gun-slinging, taco-eating, Latino sazon and spice curry, all of that. They're supposed to be these mean cowboys, right? Drug dealers. The worst of the worst. Why is it the only people that I see getting picked up is Rosalita, the cleaning lady, the lady that does your room, that cleans your room, and Jose, the janitor, got a bunch of keys on his, none of these people had pistols. None of these peoples were killers. They ain't shooting up, because if you was dealing with real bangers, I haven't seen a shootout once with any of these ICE agents. If we were dealing with those, we would be seeing that shit happening all the time because they ain't got nothing to lose. They real killers. They savages. They can't be tamed. Remember the same thing they said when they came to America? That myth of us being savages, that we eat each other, started in Puerto Rico. That's where they said that. That's when they started doing what they did to the indigenous, because they called it savagery. They said we eat each other. Yeah. The indigenous Taino Indians over there, that's where that whole thing started. That were cannibals. I'm talking about the indigenous people of this land.
Children out of our country. That's all ICE is doing.
Okay. Every new year, I think about what a real fresh start looks like. It's their first
we watch
fully
it.
matching
No, it's not
collection.
just
He's the most streamed artist globally on Spotify for 4 consecutive years. Nearly 20 billion downloads in 2025 alone. He has sold 123 million equivalent album sales. He's won Grammys. He's won everything. He is a fantastically successful American story, isn't he? And isn't the fact that he ends up performing at the halftime show exactly the kind of journey that America was founded on? Which is...
Isn't that the exceptional? Isn't that, the exceptionalism of America? Isn't that like what the American dream is? That you could come here with holes in your shoes, 2 nickels in your pocket, and make something of yourself? Isn't that like, isn't that what we're told? Isn't that what we grew up learning? That anybody can make it here. You know what I mean? All you need is a dream and work hard, and you can make it. But yet she's completely shitting on that. She's completely, because of the fact that there is all over a dude that decided to do his concert in Spanish, bro. In Spanish. Is wow.
The guy who comes from very little, born in America, who actually makes it to the biggest pinnacle because he is, right? I mean, look, I love Kid Rock, okay? And I actually really enjoy the Turning Point show as well. I like them both. But Kid Rock's not had a hit single in the last 11 years. This guy is right now the hottest star in the world, and he should be on the halftime show. I can't think of a compelling reason why not.
Because he's too divisive, Piers. I'm giving you the reason. Maybe because you're not an American, you don't get it. He is too divisive a figure. No one would begrudge him his personal success story. Good for him. Great. We love that here in America. Just like we love when our half-pipe freestyle skiers make it to the Olympics. Despite all odds, they overcome them. But when you go overseas wearing the American uniform and you bash America on foreign soil, when you're wearing our stars and stripes, we get very upset here.
See, she keeps getting it wrong, and that's where her ignorance lies, is America. America's a continent. You mean when you bash the USA, it doesn't say America. It doesn't say, it says Team USA. That's your problem, sweetie. And that right there just goes to show the ignorance. It's like these people don't get it. It's a continent. It's Canada. And you'll see exactly what, this is their whole gripe. Like, y'all don't get it. Like, the hypocrisy is just like, it's astounding, bro. And then the fact that they did the Turning Point USA or whatever it's called, and they tried to rap. They were doing most of their songs. They were rapping most of their songs. So it's okay if they do it, not if we do it. I mean, do you know where hip-hop came from, shorty? You know what I mean? But we the divisive ones? We the divisive ones. Like I said, they will take your culture. They will use your culture. They love the culture. But they just hate who represents it and who made it. That's what trips me out. So we could take your culture, use your culture. They enjoy our culture. But like everything else, They don't like the ones who made it, bro. They just don't like, they don't like the originators of it. They just completely want to take it and take and take and take and take. No apologies, no nothing.
In America. It's not that we don't stand for free speech or differences of opinion.
Thank you.
Or
Bad Bunny never bashed America, not once. He only bashed your, but that's the thing with this party right now, the whole MAGA thing, is if you bash the president, if you say anything against the president, then you hate America. Like I just said earlier. So then it goes both ways, because when the other side is sitting in the White House and y'all bash them, I mean, come on. Y'all made an issue out of Obama wearing a tan suit, bro. You guys make controversy out of everything. Do y'all remember that? When they made a whole stank because Obama wore a tan suit to a press conference? Are you kidding me? They started crying, and they talk about the woke crowd being soft. Do you guys know who started woke culture? And I'm not talking. Obviously, we we started woke, but they took it and made it into something else. Woke mean you got your third eye open. Woke means you know what's going on for real. Woke don't mean soft. Woke means you got your third eye open. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what's going on. You got your chakras right open. You know what I'm saying? You know everything. You see everything. But they take it, like I said, they borrow our shit, water it down, and completely change what it means. Because when we said woke and we was talking about woke, we were talking about like, yo, we're hip to this stuff. Like Teresa said, it's all psyops. We understand this shit. You know, we understand what's going on. Our eyes are open. That's what we mean by woke. We're not just walking around with our eyes closed no more.
love rags to riches stories. We do all of those things. But there are certain things that we expect of the people who are representing us when they're overseas as Olympic athletes or when they're in the middle of the Super Bowl, which is our event. That is a heartland event that gets every, usually man, but lots of women too, on their feet, feeling patriotic year after year. It's one of the reasons why we love it. And the last thing we want is someone who's a harsh partisan who we know can't stand the country. And you're...
Did you say a harsh partisan? So wait a minute. Who are we talking about now? Bad Bunny, or are we talking about Donald Trump? I'm starting to get confused here. A harsh partisan? Is she bugging? Let me ask you guys a question. I don't remember... In a lot of years, I don't remember the country being as divided as it is today. It is the most divided that I've seen it in like decades, bro. Decades. Like it's divided. Since Jim Crow, let's just say. Like we are divided. We are fucking divided.
Wrong. He wasn't totally patriotic at that event. He ended it by saying, God bless America, and then listed all the countries in all of the Americas, which is not how we here in the United States view the USA. We actually do believe in American exceptionalism, and we believe we actually do have a higher claim to morality than some of the countries he was listing, like...
Oh my God, the hypocrisy! We have a higher claim to morality. Chick, are you not hearing yourself? Yo, just take your lip, pull it up over your face, and swallow, girl. Like, swallow. Like, yo, you were just like, yo, the hypocrisy. Did she just said we have a higher claim to Yo, is she bugging?
Mexico.
But you wouldn't want him to have his First Amendment rights infringed on his ability to criticize certain policies of a particular
Of course not.
American
no one's talking about that, but he has no right to perform at the Super Bowl.
As an American citizen?
See, he has no right. You see what she's saying? An American citizen does not have the right to perform at a Super Bowl. Why is that? Because he doesn't speak English? Might be a lot tanner than you? What is it? Can somebody put in the comments why they feel that he doesn't have a right? and why they are making up these false narratives? I really want to know. I understand, hey, if it's not your type of thing because he doesn't speak English. So it's not, you don't want to listen to it. You don't prefer it. I get it. I understand. I get that. I'm not the biggest Bad Bunny fan. But like everything else, bro, I like the beat, the vibey beat. If I could dance to it, I'm going to dance to it, man. You know what I mean? If the shit's vibey, I'm going to dance to it. Not all the time I have to understand the language. Shoot. If you look back in my channel, I reacted to Brazilian rap, bro. From Brazil. I needed subtitles to react to it. But yo, they have some of the dopest MCs over there. I don't have to understand the language. Music is universal. It's a universal language, to be honest with you. Music moves you. It touches you. Pause. Yeah, I don't got to say that. But let's be honest. There's a lot of songs that I've heard that I don't know what the words are, but I'm still messing with it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of songs. I mean, think about it. A lot of the rock, okay, they like rock and roll. Can you understand the fucking word they're saying? Sounds like they're eating the fucking mic. Sound like a fucking gremlin fucking spazzing out on a sugar high.
Really? That's disqualified. So
the First Amendment has nothing to do with it.
Anyone who's ever been...
The First Amendment has nothing to do with it. The First Amendment is about government censorship of speech.
Hang on. Anyone who's been critical then of the US government should not be allowed to perform at the halftime show. Is that your position?
I don't think that'd be my selection. I do think you should find somebody who is more of a unifier, and there are plenty of them.
So then we should do the same for our president.
There are still millions of people out there who have very strong political opinions, but they don't voice them publicly because they realize they're in a line of work where that could be alienating to their customer base. The same is true for these performers. And if you want to be super outspoken, if you want to be a Jane Fonda, then go for it. But don't expect...
Well, I mean, yeah, she made that clear with the meatloaf line. You know what I'm saying? But come on, you know how many people at the halftime show? I could show you tons and tons of people that was watching the Turning Point USA with a bowl of nachos, some guacamole, and a Bud Light. Some even had Coronas. But they was eating nachos. I'll tell you that right now. They was all eating nachos. I even seen some eating some quesadillas. You know? How many of them was dancing? There you go. Remember Macarena? Oh, even Whoop 'em Come 'em style. All of that shit. They all dance to that shit. Thank you. That's actually a perfect point. Thank you so much. Remember the Macarena? Hey, Macarena. All right. Yo, come on, bro. How many of them watch I Love Lucy? It was a staple in this country for how long? Remember I Love Lucy? Hey, Lucy, I'm home. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. This is selective outrage. We know that shit.
Yourself to be placed in the middle of what's supposed to be a nonpartisan event and be a so-called unifier. We put up with this year after year after year. But right now, we're in a serious battle over immigration enforcement, something the country voted for overwhelmingly. And to pick two acts who are as outspoken against that as these two and plop them in the middle of some...
Oh, shit, I forgot about that. That was it. Yo, they blew that up. Living la vida loca. I mean, there was nobody that wasn't humming that song. You got a good point. And Ricky Martin was on that stage. Damn, I forgot about that shit. Shoot. Let's be real. Hell yeah. See what I'm saying? The selective outrage, bro, is wild, bro. Like, she just tearing herself to bits. They are just mad they don't have... I don't think it's that. I think it's a certain few. You hear Pierce. Pierce is being logical. Even though I don't always agree with him, but he's being logical right now. This chick is being so freaking emotional, bro. Like, she's showing off her... honestly, to be real with you, I don't think she's fond of melanated people. Honestly. The way that she's talking, you can hear it in her voice, the anger. You can hear that she feels like she's losing something. Do you know what I'm saying? She feels like she's losing. And there are a lot of Caucasian Americans that do feel that way. that they're losing, that they're, the country's being taken over by melanated people when this country was, you know what I mean? That's what'd you say? We all dancing to, yeah, suavemente besame. I remember that shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. But let's be real. The people that were occupying this land, the people that lived in this land, bro, they were all melanated. They were Afro-Indigenous. Up north, they were a little bit lighter. I mean, let's be real. And yeah, Despacito, another one right there. You know what I'm saying? There's so many, bro, that there was dancing to, and they don't mind having on. Not sure if she's emotional. She probably just gets paid to be on that side. You know what, though? I realized that, too. In doing this channel, I realized because I'm an independent and I'm in between and I try to look at things from a rational perspective, that I don't get the viewership because from what I heard, and this is what I've been told by, other YouTubers, they say it's because you don't pick a side. You try to be logical too much. You need to pick a side and that's it. You got to be on a team. You can't just be the guy that's sensible. You have to be, I basically want, like she is, real passionate and just don't care and be a hypocrite. And that to me, I just can't be, bro. I got to look at it logically. Sorry. I could point out whatever side. I'll be like, yo, I'm really not feeling that. I'm not seeing what you're doing here. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. And a lot of people want me to pick a side. Even when I was talking about Democrats. I mean, people from the Democratic Party. They got mad at me about that. I'm not against legal legal citizenship, and I'm not against that. But it was unsustainable the way Joe Biden was letting everybody through the border. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That was just unsustainable. Just letting everybody through, that definitely was going to hurt. That was going to hurt a lot of Americans. Now, I think that they should have done a total different approach. I think that the ones because Joe Biden let them through legally. Because he was the one, like I said, just because you're against what a lot of people are against that. Does that mean that they hate America? No. They just were against that policy. He allowed people to come through looking for, you know what I mean? He let a lot of them through. And when they went to their hearings, I think this is where the problem is the ones that came through, I think he should have let them, figure out their legal situation. And then after that, whichever happens, happens. But no, what they started doing is they were picking up. This is where they were picking up most of the people. They were picking them up at court. They were denying they were denying their stay right away and just arresting them, even though they were trying to do the right thing. They were trying to go through the process. I mean, if you were living in an area or a place that wasn't that great, let's just say, we live in the hood. We all aspire to get out the hood. If you're living in a place that, is not good for you and your family, and you have an opportunity to something better, would you not take that? We all would. So you can't get mad at them because America said, hey, we're going to open our doors. And of course there was going to be a line going, you know what I'm saying? Of course there's going to be a long line. Why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't there be? Now, the way they're dealing with it is another situation. I think that's the problem, is the way he's dealing with it. Like I said, Obama, how many people did he, you know what I'm saying? How many people did he deport? But you didn't see people getting shot in the street and getting popped in the face and this, that, and the third. Nah, but he was able to, he did a lot of mass deportations, but people weren't getting popped in the street. Now, it's a different thing when they were in holding and all of that stuff. There was a lot of, there was a lot of craziness, the way they were being treated when they were being held. But like I said, it wasn't dividing America. People weren't scared in the street. I mean, shoot, from what I heard, they could come up to me and just deport me or hold me for 24 hours. You know what I mean? They could do that.
That is a middle finger by Roger Goodell. It's picking a side in the most divisive debate we're having right now in the country, and it was wrong. It was a mistake.
Good. Well, I'm glad we reached a point of zero agreement on that. Well, let's move to an issue where I think we will agree, and this is the separate issue of Hunter Hess, the U.S. Winter Olympic skier, who said this at the week.
All right, I'm not worried about that. All right, so we're gonna go to the next one. All right, yo, but I'll tell you right now, Turning Point USA, y'all missed out. Let me explain. Let me show you where y'all missed out. Y'all missed out on this gem right here. This is who should have. I think this is who should have headlined Turning Point USA right here. This guy right here.
I feel good getting the fuck out of my bag. Look good when they don't have the bag. Walk in, walked out the bag. Man, go what we go like the bag. I got fuck, I got hit, I got bust, I got music, I got friends, and they go, but they all think that it's good in the back of the back of the left. We just out for the bump, you know. Fuck a please, there and go feed them.
He getting busy.
Oh,
shit. Let's go.
Look good, get the fuck out of my bag. Look good, but you don't have a bag. Walk in, walk out with the bag. Then go with the bag. Bobble up.
Look at that. Scrabble up with the cane and all of that. He got the bop going. He ain't playing with y'all. See, that's what you need, Megyn. You got to open up your mind, girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to be more inclusive. Like, yo, homie over here. Look at, yo, homie Snowflake is killing it, bro. Yo, I'll tell you right now, he got the tight jean fit. Look at the fit. I mean, look at the fit. My boy ain't playing. He got the cane. He got the hat. All of that. Yeah, yo, the ladies is showing up. Squabble up. My boy killing it.
Squabble up. Hold up. Where you from? My bitch.
Ah!
I'm gonna go dog. Sideways. Bump. Fever. I'm a one. Let me rock it. Cool, baby, cool, then you're cracking. What's on the hole, then you know when they're cracking it.
Damn!
But I know when you're popping it. Oh, this little works on sale at the time. Pipe down, young figures, with your apology. Sit about, boom, that's a lot of it. Don't hit it, but.
Turning Point asked out. Yo, I'm telling you, they should have got homie right here. Because this senior citizen killing it, bro. He killing it. He got the whole fit. Yo, he even dressed better than Kid Rock. I mean, come on. Let's go. He got his whole fit together. Yo, he got the dentures going. Yo, no dentures, no nothing. He talking that talk, you heard? He doing that without dentures, man. He killing that shit, you heard? He got that shit on point. All right, so here we go. We got Geraldo Rivera and Andrew Cuomo. They debate on it on the Cuomo show, and you're going to hear some more dumb shit. All right, let's go. We got to get through this. And then we got coming up, we got Ja Rule and G Unit getting into a pillow fight on the plane. Some wild shit.
Colors alternative to the halftime show in the early 90s has an outside halftime show drawn the attention of Turning Point USA's All-American halftime show. Here's a taste.
You're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you.
Hold on. Ooh. Holy shit. I think I got to fast forward that because I don't know if I'm going to get hit with a copyright. Yo, did you see that shit from QC? They had all these people watching, but yet the chat was dead. They thought that they think it was being botted. I don't know if I could play this. Hey, Teresa, you think I could play this?
Nothing says America like Kid Rock. if by America you mean the MAGA.
Yo, I'm sorry. Homeboy got him beat. Yo, my boy got him beat, bro. OG from the last clip got him beat, man. Drip better, fit better, everything. Look at this shit. He got you looking wild out here, son. He got you looking out of touch.
Resistance to what Bad Bunny represents. And people came for it. Estimates are coming in. Why? Because they streamed it from.
All right, so they got 20 million, right? They got 20 million. 20 million. Now, we know that the Super Bowl cannot be botted. And the reason why we know the Super Bowl cannot be botted because it's on TV, it's on, you know what I'm saying? It's Nielsen, it's a third party that counts these numbers. They'll give you 2 views maximum per household. So if you're viewing it from your TV, they'll give you 2 maximum. And then from each digital device, only 1. And it don't matter how many times you click out and turn in, you only get 1. And Nielsen is, you know what I'm saying, they're the gold standard as far as ratings go and as far as counting views and how many people are watching. They've been doing this forever. You know what I mean? Since analog. So, you know, with this right here, this number right here, a lot of people are saying this number right here is bloated. How many of y'all feel that? Do you think they inflated the numbers? Because let me show you right here. A guy named XQC or something like that. All right, hold on. XQC. Now, he calls out a lot of streamers, a lot of people that he sees that are inflating numbers. And he's usually pretty good. Watch this. Now, damn, you know what? Fuck it. If they end up hitting me with a copyright, they do, whatever. Because I got to show you all this.
Yo, is the chat frozen? I don't get it.
Look.
Live.
Peep this, right? So he says, is the chat frozen? I don't get it. Right? And this guy right here, he's a big time streamer. He calls out a lot of people. This isn't just because of this. He calls out a lot of people. He calls out Kai Cenat. He calls out a lot of people, DDG, for botting views. And if there's 5 million people watching, this chat should be going crazy with either American flags, hearts, or something. If there's 5 million people watching, yo, this chat is going slower than my chat, and I only got 13 people watching. Look.
Chat, it's
look at
not
this.
loading.
It's not moving at all.
I just wanna catch my fish.
Not moving at all. Still hasn't moved. So what he does is, he's like, screw it. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to type and see if it's frozen. Watch what happens.
Guys, hello?
I got to fast forward. Look. Okay, so you see that right there? He just typed in. So he's showing that the chat's not frozen. He just typed in. Hello. So the chat's not frozen. It's working just fine. You got 5 million people watching, but you don't got anybody talking. That's suspicious. That's suspect.
Hello?
See? And we all know that YouTube views could definitely be botted. 100%. They could be botted, and that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that, you know, that they're botted. 5 million views, the chat wasn't moving. That's what it says right here. I'm going by what they saying right here. Look. It says right here. Called it botted. The YouTube. It only had 9,000 is what he's trying to say. Because the chat wasn't moving. If you got all these people watching, if you got 5 million people watching, you think that the chat is going to barely move? Come on now. Come on now. So that's what people are saying. I'm just giving y'all the info. Don't get mad at me for being a messenger.
multiple platforms. So there are a lot of numbers, but they're big, okay? It could be as high as 25 million, maybe more, if you count, time of the actual broadcast and then the next day or so. Whatever the number. It may be small compared to the Bad Bunny, but there's a lot of lettuce in an audience like that. I predict after TPUSA's...
He said there's a lot of lettuce and a lot of mayo, too. Sorry, I had to go there, man. I ain't trying to be... I had to go there, bro. It just came to my head, bro.
Streaming showing. The battle for halftime dollars, that ad revenue, will never be the same.
And, hey, if they did get 1 million views, even if they got 1 million views, that's a lot of views. That is a lot of views. And they got monetized on that. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real. If the Super Bowl did this on the halftime show, they'd make so much more money back, because think about that, 100 and something million. What Bad Bunny get? It's still counting, 135 million views. Can you imagine the ad revenue they would get from both, just the ads from the Super Bowl and the monetization from streaming it? 135 million? It'd probably shut down the internet. It probably would shut down the internet. I think YouTube would crash.
Guarantee you, next year there will be alternatives. But I don't care about this from the business point of view. I care about it from the political point of view. What was this about?
See,
what's this?
That's the point is. We all talk about capitalism, especially conservatives. They love talking about capitalism, but then when they see capitalism take place and they don't like the color of the people partaking in the capitalism, they get their panties in a bunch, man. They get their panties in a bunch, because that's all that was. The decisive decision. It was a conscious decision. It was a mathematical, monetary decision. That's all it was. It was based off numbers. Highest streaming artist in the world, 4 years in a row. Wins a Grammy. It makes sense mathematically. Financially, it makes sense to get him on the Super Bowl. And look at all the views they got. It made sense. That's called capitalism. That's what you're seeing here. Had nothing to do. I mean, when America comes up with a product, when Apple comes up with a product, when all these people come up with a product that are American, you know what I'm saying, entrepreneurs, do we care about what other Americans feel about it? Or do we just think about the money? We don't do it for Americans. We do it for our own monetary gain. Because if we did, Apple would not be in China over there, having kids work for 5 cents an hour, 5 cents a day. If we really gave a shit about this, it's an American product, right? All of these things are American products. But yet, we got all these, we outsource all of our stuff, and we don't care. So why are we getting mad at that? We outsource all of our, there's nothing, I don't think you find anything made in America anymore. We don't make nothing no more. We do not make nothing anymore. We do not build shit at all. And this is why everybody's catching up to us in this digital age, everything, because guess what? We outsource the engineering of everything, and they steal our patterns all the time. China always makes a knockoff of whatever it is that we make. They'll always make a knockoff. They make the knockoff iPhone. Anything we outsource to them, they are going to knock it off. They are going to make a bootleg version of it. Cheaper. They're going to steal the patents to it. And guess what happens? That's where we're giving, we got all of our companies out there, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot because we're giving them the patents to our technology. We're giving them the patents to all of our technology. We're giving them the blueprint, everything on how to make it. You know how many things that we've created and invented over here, but because we outsource it, we keep getting beat when it comes to anything, bro. Cars, we're getting beat. Everything, we're getting beat with everything, anything. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that we outsource everything. And that's what's crazy. That we're shooting ourselves in the foot, man. All for $1. All for a fucking $1. So when it comes to that type of capitalism, I don't hear anybody bitching. I don't hear anybody bitching because Apple's over here doing that. And I don't see you guys outraged about that shit. That's called capitalism. Just like you guys say, it's called capitalism. Don't be mad that the top 1% got all the money. That's capitalism. Work hard. Lace up your boots. Get out there. Grind. And you'll make it happen too. Stop whining and bitching about it. So while we whining and bitching that the Super Bowl made a financial decision, a corporate decision, and try to maximize their dollar and try to expand their fan base. We're mad at that? We're making this a political thing? I thought that's capitalism.
Statement. What does it mean? Let's bring in Turning Point USA spokesperson Andrew Colvette and one of the most well-known Boricua, Puerto Rican American, Geraldo Rivera. There he is. Geraldo, let me get your take on Bad Bunny. What did you make of the questioning of him only speaking Spanish or the imagery? What did you take away from it?
That's so silly. Would you have an Italian tenor translate the opera? It is. I can't see why this aversion to be happy, embracing.
And there was a lot of history, bro. There was a lot of history. All of this is history. These are sugarcane fields. That's where the slaves used to cut down sugarcane, bro. There's none of that resource left in Puerto Rico. They stripped it. Like everything else. It's like, they talk about aliens, whatever, they suck up the resources and move on to the next planet. Y'all remember that? And that's what it feels like. That's exactly what happened in Puerto Rico, bro. There's so much stuff that happened in PR that Bad Bunny has in here, but it went over people's heads. The sterilization of Puerto Rican women. That flag, the reason why Puerto Ricans hold that flag up so highly, because at one time, it was against the law. It was a federal crime to have that flag. It was 10 years in prison, $10,000, $10,000 fine. Do you realize that? For a flag. That's the reason why that picture of the Puerto Rican flag on the Statue of Liberty is so iconic. Because Puerto Rican revolutionaries went to the Statue of Liberty, took it over, and hung that flag. There was a lot. There's a lot of pain that went behind that flag. The 1950 Puerto Rican Day Massacre that was given. You know what? Let me not go all the way. Well, let me give you a little history. Where they shot 150 unarmed people protesting in Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico was colonized twice, once by the Spaniards and another time by the Americans, by the USA. Let me just say the USA. And let's be real. The order to shoot these people, these unarmed, was from the president of the United States at that time. That's who gave the order. They were shot. They were shot. Unarmed, children and women. It was ugly. It was horrific. This was in the 50s. I could give you so much history. There is so much history that is literally synonymous with American struggles in history and the way they treated melanated people of color. The same thing goes on in PR. It's the same thing, just a different place. It's on an island. Where over there, the national crop was, basically sugar cane. It was, it was a big profitable after they robbed the gold. That's why it's called Puerto Rico. The real name of the island is Borican, but they called it Puerto Rico Rich Port because there was nothing but gold. When the Spaniards got on to the touchland, there was gold everywhere. Gold everywhere.
A wonderful tribute to the Latinos.
Yeah, The Young Lords, they started in Chicago. And they also took over Lincoln Hospital, the Young Lords. I got a lot of stuff on that. They took over Lincoln Hospital. They took over, in Chicago, they took over the church. They did a lot of things, man. They made breakfast programs. They were, hey, man, Chacha Jimenez from Chicago, from the Chicago chapter, if you talk about the Young Lords, he was, him and Fred Hampton were like this. They created the Rainbow Coalition. I know a lot about the Young Lords, bro. Shout out to you for knowing that. Puerto Rico is America, filled with Americans. Facto. And then you got Jake Paul talking his stupid nonsense, saying that Bad Bunny's a fake American, yet he goes out and exploits the taxes that to get so he doesn't have to pay no taxes out in Puerto Rico, and he claims to be a Puerto Rican, but yet he's Bad Bunny's a fake American. Does that make any sense?
To Puerto Rico, to the sugarcane people, to family, to togetherness. I don't understand what the big problem was, and I don't know why Turning Point USA picked this fight. Why did you talk about division. The division came from one side. Turning Point.
And if you
Here's a
notice,
taste.
Hold on. Oh my God, here we go.
America, you mean
the shit.
Cast bout.
If you notice,
What's
right?
the statement? What is it? Geraldo, let me get your take away from it.
That's so silly. Would you have an Italian tenor translating a wonderful tribute to the Latinos, to Puerto Rico, to the sugar? They picked this fight. Why did you talk about division. The division came from one side.
Now you see this. There is a USA flag right there next to the Puerto Rican flag. And there's all other flags of the Americas. All the other flags as well. He's basically just trying to educate y'all. Y'all getting mad at me, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all think America is just the United States. It's not.
Turning Point USA, with due respect, and I have great respect for Erica Kirk
Facto.
and Charlie Kirk. I met a couple of times at the Hannity Green Room. Great guy. I supported, his image, his character when he was assailed shortly after the assassination. This is about being together. Bad Bunny is a terrific performer. He's number one in every chart all over the country, all over the world. You'll never have a dominant performance like this again. 135 million people to first go through. There'd be more people than watch the game for sure, Chris.
So, Andrew, you guys had a record number of people also. And let's put the business stuff to the side, but what do you think people were responding to?
Yeah, and, I just want to quickly respond to what Geraldo said, with all due respect. I don't feel like we were trying to pick a fight at all. We weren't trying to sow division. There was a lot of people wanted a different alternative. We responded. There's no agenda. There was no hate. We weren't, coming after him. We just said, listen.
But wait. How come not for Snoop, not for Eminem, not for Dr. Dre, not for Usher, not for Rihanna, not for Maroon 5? Why?
Well, that's where you're wrong,
now?
actually.
Why for Bad Bunny?
Yeah, well, actually, it was funny. We discovered this when we were putting this event together, Geraldo, is that we saw tweets from Charlie that would go back to 2012 with 1 like, 2014, 1 like, and he would go viral again and again and again. And I think.
So then why didn't he take action on it? I don't get that. Why not take action on it then? If that's the case, why not take action on it? Why did it happen so fast and was able to flip like this when, Charlie Kirk was the one that supposedly, is the founder and everything else. But yet you guys are able to do it at the drop of a hat now that is, a bilingual artist. I just don't understand it. And there was, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of division. They always complained. When they complained with Snoop, they complained with M, they did all of that, but they didn't go to this extreme. But they thought that they were going to they thought they were going to take from his numbers so they can give a big FU to, to Roger Goodell and all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, kiss my ass. To the NFL, they basically wanted to say, hey, you know what? They try to take a stance, and obviously, they think they did something, but they really didn't. Even with whatever the number is that you guys achieved. Suppose it's 2 million people that you guys took from watching the game. It still was the highest watch. So they basically proved their point. The NFL proved their point, and it was a good business decision because they got the highest numbers ever. The highest numbers ever.
Listen, this was just one of those things where a lot of elements came together. And, you know, listen, I speak Spanish. I have Hispanic in my background. You know, no, there's no issue, right? But a lot of people, whether you like to admit it or not, they don't want to listen to music on the biggest stage in the country that's only in Spanish. So I heard that more than anything. They didn't.
So they must have, then they must have hated every single time that little Chihuahua came on, and they must have boycotted Taco Bell when that little Chihuahua said, "Yo quiero Taco Bell." They must have got, I'm surprised Taco Bell is not out of, I'm being dead serious. But see, it's not authentic Mexican food. But I'm surprised they didn't boycott that shit. Because that was Yo quiero Taco Bell. That's in Spanish.
Like it. And here's what else I'll say. We didn't come after anybody. Hold on, let me finish.
How about Hofbrau in Germany? Okay, finish.
Go ahead. Yo, Trump did watch.
Listen, we didn't come after anybody. We didn't have any agenda. It was literally just their songs, good music. And Kid Rock wrote an extra verse to Till You Can't that, talked about his faith in Jesus. And
what a bullshitter. We didn't come after anybody. You guys were the ones that made the biggest stink. You want me to show you all of the interviews and everything y'all was talking? You guys was gunning for him. You guys are like, I don't want to watch somebody in a dress. I don't want to, somebody that only speaks Spanish. Like, okay, that's fine if you don't want to watch because you can't understand the language. That's fine. Not your type of music. But you had a million reasons that made no sense. You guys were grasping at anything you guys could.
And putting your life in Jesus' hands. I mean, it was pretty raw stuff. And guess what? I mean, we're going to give you a final number later this week because we're...
Okay. In Jesus, spreading a message of unity and love. Isn't that what Bad Bunny did? Did you not read the sign behind him?
Still waiting for streams to come in and the analytics to come in and some of the OTT stuff, the fast channel analytics. But we're probably going to be in the range of about 40 to 50 million eyeballs. We have a third-party data company that's working on doing it because nobody's going to take my word for it. But Nielsen usually gives it about 2.5 per.
Okay, so there you go. Why don't you have Nielsen? If they have Nielsen do it, I'll believe the numbers.
View per household because everybody's watching in groups. That puts us over that number, actually.
Okay, you quoted Nielsen, but you're not using them. Why not? Why not use Nielsen? They're the undisputed. They're the most credible. They're the most credible analysis out there when it comes to views. They're the most credible. They're the grandfathered in. They've been around for ages, bro. Ever since media came out, they were the ones that gave you the box. I remember they'd even pay you to put a box in your house so they could count numbers. I remember Nielsen that well, that they paid $100 for a month of you using the box so you could see, so they could count, what channels you're watching, this, that, and the third. I remember Nielsen. They wanted to make sure that they were getting it right. That's what they did just to prove that they were doing, that they weren't fudging numbers or messing up numbers. They wanted to make sure that they were being on point and as precise as they can be, that they would pay you to put a box in your house just to see if it matches up with what they got on their end.
Right. So, you can be upset about it, but there's millions of people that felt underserved, that felt like this was a thumb in the nose of regular Americans.
That's the part. That you just put your finger on it. And look,
Thank
I
you.
watched, okay?
Thank you. And that's the point right there. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And that's the point that a lot of people, and that's how you know that it has way more to do. The whole, somebody being divisive, this, that, and the third, you could tell that is not really their true approach to this thing. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that that's not what they really want. It had nothing to do with that, because if it did, they would have been like, wow, you know what? I really thought it was going to be this divisive, crazy thing. And now they're just picking out these little stupid things of, Yeah, that was divisive. This was divisive. Oh, we call ourselves American, and but he said all the America. Why not just America? Like, are you fucking like just any little fucking excuse they could come up with is ridiculous.
The president's viewing party, I was absolutely going back and forth trying to check it out because of our relationship and, you know, as part of the job. There was absolutely a tone, pro-America, 100%, pro-Christian, 100%. Bad Bunny.
And that we know they can't do. They can't use new YouTube numbers because we know YouTube could be botted. We know that for a facto. They're going to make up numbers. Yeah, I mean, and that's what they're going to do. That's why they're not using Nielsen, because they know that they'll be exposed.
Is bad was also an undercurrent in it. That there was something about the messaging, that's what the president picked up on, that there's something insulting about what he was doing to Americans. And Andrew, I don't get it two ways. I don't get it in a place that's all about miscegenation and a Christian following. Who is more sympathetic, or supposed to be, to the immigrant and to the fallen and to the needy than Christians? I don't get that.
Watch how he tries to change scripture. Watch how he tries to deviate scripture. Watch how he tries to pervert scripture. I'm being dead serious. Like most radicals, watch what he does.
Yeah, no, I'm actually glad you brought that up, because there's actually a lot of bad theology. Yeah, you should be compassionate and kind to the sojourner in your land, the foreigner. Absolutely. But in scripture, it also delineates that God created borders. God likes order. It doesn't say you have to just ignore your immigration laws. Okay, so that's one.
Bad Bunny is an American citizen.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny is an American citizen.
That's not the point, Geraldo. We're not talking about his immigration status. That's no.
Who are you talking?
Hold on.
Who are you talking?
Please,
you're making a division. You're making a division. You're quoting the scriptures to say that you have to have a language that's understood.
No. Geraldo, please hear my heart, Geraldo. Okay,
go ahead, Geraldo. Let him make the case. Go ahead.
I'm not talking about his immigration status. I'm talking about him going to the Grammys and saying "ice out." I'm saying he told the country that you have 4 months to learn Spanish. I'm not trying to pick a fight with him.
Oh my God, you're not trying to pick a fight. Do you know the reason why he said that? He said you got 4 months. You know why he did that? It was a clapback. So you want to shoot, but the dude can't shoot back. So you're used to, so you see, you just want it your way. You want to have it your way. Yo, I'm sorry, bro. This ain't McDonald's, Burger King, none of that fast food shit over here, bro. We got some sazon. We got some seasoning over here. I'm going to get you with that fucking wepa. Yo, listen to this, right? So what you're saying is you guys were sitting there bashing this dude for months when you found out that it was going to be a Spanish Super Bowl, right? So he goes on Saturday Night Live and claps back. And he speaks in Spanish and says, well, if you didn't understand what I said, you got 4 months to learn. He was on a comedy show. It was tongue-in-cheek. It was a joke. It was a joke. He was clapping back at y'all for talking all of that shit. That's why he said that. So how was that divisive? How was that divisive? Y'all talked about him, his dress, and how he has devil-worshipping lyrics. He got Ouija boards. He's got everything. He's the devil himself. You guys completely try to assassinate his character. So the one thing he claps back with, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you got 4 months to learn. If you don't, you know what I mean? Are you serious? Are you serious? That ruffled your feathers. That blew up your skirt. Damn. Y'all some soft motherfuckers, bro. Y'all talk about the woke left. They're so soft. This, that. Y'all soft. Y'all motherfuckers is soft, bro.
Be clear. I did not put those words in the president's mouth. All I am saying is there's a lot of people that felt a certain way about the selection of the halftime show. And listen, I'm not going to be able to stop them from feeling that way. What we can do is give them an uplifting option. And a lot of people wanted that option. It was pro-America. It was America 250. It was pro-God. There's nothing wrong with any of this. I think this is just the market doing what the market.
And there you go. Bad Bunny was pro-America too. All of America. He was pro all of America. from Canada all the way down to Brazil. He was pro all of America. So what are you talking about? Yours was pro USA. That's what you mean to say, brother.
Does. And I've just never been so overwhelmed with people so grateful that we did something that they could get their family behind. And by the way, Geraldo, before you say that this act is all wholesome and good, you should translate some of his songs to English before you make that assumption. They're really raunchy songs. And there's a reason you can sing them in Spanish and not in English. The FCC would have come down on him.
Yeah, no.
Okay, they some raunchy songs. So do we want to go over our good faith Bible-fearing, all of a sudden country singer that, you know, basically wanted to be a rapper at first and now he's a country singer? He a good old boy. Do we want to go over his lyrics? Do we want to go over how he likes them underage and statutory is mandatory? Is that what, do we want to do that? Because, hey, I don't care what two people, same sex or whatever your sexuality is, if it's between two consenting adults. But your lyrics, the guy that you have platforming on your platform, the one that you platformed to headline the show, had these lyrics saying, man, I'm going to show y'all. Y'all know the lyrics, right? Y'all know the man, hold on. Let me show y'all the lyrics, man. Let me show y'all the lyrics. The headliner of their show. Y'all want to see that? Man, don't make me go there, bro. What the hell is his name? I don't even know the name of the song, man. But yo. Let's check out his lyrics. Let's check out his fucking lyrics. But we're going to talk about Bad Bunny, talk about chicks shaking their asses. All right? And they can't talk shit about the age. They can't say, oh, well, he was young. Because guess what? Kid Rock was 30 at the time. Bad Bunny's 31. So there is room for the redemption, brother. There is room for redemption. But your dumb ass don't know that. See how they trying to make up excuses and how they want to have it both ways? They want to have it both ways, right? Peep this. Peep this. Peep these lyrics, man. All right, right here. Peep these lyrics. Peep these lyrics. This is actually, this is beautiful. This is absolutely, yes, this is, godly like right here. This is all wholesome. 2001 was featured the children's, and it was in the movie Osmosis Jones. That's wild. The same year. It includes the line, young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. Are you fucking bugging? Are you fucking bugging? Are you bugging? And the one that said it's mandatory, I don't want to hear this excuse, his hype man, collaborate. The one that said it's mandatory was his hype man, but he says some say that's statutory. And he's the one that said he likes them underage. And he's the one that's talking about hit me on my pager. And this, that, and the third, trying to talk that slag. You know what I'm saying? He trying to talk that, he trying to talk that talk when he was trying to, fit into the, when he was trying to get into the culture. You know what I'm saying? When he was trying to fit in, it was all good, bro. It was all good back then, right? It was all good just a week ago.
Last night's version, though. But look, I get it. I mean, look, Kid Rock ain't exactly known as Sunday school material either, bro.
But that was a beautiful, beautiful, story.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Are you talking to me? She bans me every single day anytime I have a problem with. I don't think mods need to. If you're talking about me, my mods should know that nobody gets kicked off this platform or nobody gets banned or put in timeout unless I say it. Or unless they're saying something that I can't see. I don't think I have somebody named that, though. colleague Mod Regal. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, no one knows. Yeah, I don't listen. I don't care even if you're talking about me, as long as it's something that's not gonna get my my live clapped. I don't care. I don't, yo, bro. I don't care if you're talking craziness directed towards me. You could say that I'm, whatever. You could call me whatever you want. I don't care. Unless I say, yo, get him out of here. That's one thing everybody should know. I'm not sensitive like that. You can make your jokes. You can call me this. You can call me whatever. I don't care. The only time that I think a mod would jump in is if I don't see it and it's something like really crazy, because they'll shut down the live if you're talking really crazy. But I didn't see nothing wrong with what you said. I don't see nothing wrong with what you said. Mods need X. Yeah. I mean, if there is anybody clapping them, just if you do, let me know and let me know why, and I'll put it on reserve. But yeah, there shouldn't be nobody getting clapped. I don't like doing that. I like to have a real discussion. Whether you agree with me or not, I'd rather have a real discussion. I want everybody to be able to vocalize themselves, whether you agree with me or not. Doesn't matter.
So that you saw his start.
He definitely
and then
put together something different. I'm not coming at Bob. I'm just saying he did something different last night. So did Bad Bunny.
My bad. It's not okay. I'm sorry. I misread it.
I'll tell you one thing though, Andrew. You're going to have competition next year. You're going to have competition because now that they know that there is money to be had in streaming as an alternative at the halftime, it's going to come.
I think you're right. I think this has changed the landscape forever, Chris. And I would just say, hey, to the Cabela's, to the Chevys of the world, listen, I think there is a line that we drew in the sand this year, and I think it was important because a lot of people have been feeling left out for a long time. This was not a one-year phenomenon. But we'll say, hey, help us make this even bigger and better.
Oh, great. Geraldo, go ahead. Last word to you,
President Trump called it disgusting, the worst ever. This is just days after the Obamas were
said thou shalt have a green card.
The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible and affront to the greatness of America. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting. Yeah, says the guy that says grab him by the foot. Yeah, says that guy. Okay, whatever. Especially for young children. This show is just a slap in the face to our country. And I'll tell you like this, everything he was rapping about on that thing, none of it was any of that disgusting talk. None of it was that disgusting talk. No, he wasn't talking about nasty shit. It was all cultural.
Or you must go with home. I remember that. 315, or as the president would say, 315.
Come on, Chris. We'll debate scripture and borders.
No, listen, Andrew, I know what it is.
I could go for days on that one.
I know
that
you
is the
could.
most bastardized part of scripture in the modern era, completely.
I know.
There's a lot of.
I know it is.
I don't know, man.
It's also for me different than for you. It's a guideline. There's stories.
I know it's your heart, Chris.
Yeah.
It's all good, but
I'm saying,
rules too.
And you don't have to own Trump. Listen, the country is clear. Okay, secure the border. If you have violent, undocumented migrants, find them and take them. How you do it matters. And that is a clear mandate from this country. We'll see how it plays out in the midterms. Yeah, I got you. There's no question.
The worst of the worst, they went for grandma.
There's no question. I put the data out earlier. That's why they're hiding the data. But Andrew, that's not on you.
Oh, okay, hold on. Where's the data? Yo, does he got the data? Just so I can show you guys, they are not taking, remember how I said earlier, they're not taking these gun-toting MS-13 gang members. Let me see if they got it up. Come on.
Misdemeanor. And 40% of them were
right here, perfect.
But overwhelmingly, half of it is the first time illegal entry into the country, which is a misdemeanor.
Wow. Did you hear that? Over half of the deportations are just first-time misdemeanors. So these are people that came into the country when they opened the border and thought they were coming here legally. And like I said, yes, it was unsustainable. Yes, it was going to bring the country to the knees. But hey, at the end of the day, they thought they was coming here legally, which they were, and then the administration changed, and then he turned it into being illegal. So The majority of the people getting picked up ain't killers, gangbangers, rapists, all of that. It's not that. Like I said, it's Rosalita, the cleaning lady, Fabuloso. That's why there's so much Fabuloso all over Walmart, man. They got all Rosalitas and all of them. Fabuloso must be going through. Fabuloso, there's more, overstock in Fabuloso right now than I've ever seen. You could get that like for cheap now. Because they picking up all the cleaning ladies, man. They picking up all the cleaning ladies, man.
And 40% of them were civil overstays. Look.
There you go. Being a legal immigrant starts with them. Yeah. Yes. What Trump is doing is unconstitutional. It's true because he doesn't like the actions. He doesn't like the legislation passed by the previous administration to make anybody that came here under the fact that they thought, under the conditions that they thought they were legal, and it was legal at the time, is not illegal today. It should not turn, oh, you did something illegal. You didn't. Like, think about it. These guys are getting picked up at the courthouse. That's where all these guys are getting picked up, at the courthouse. Because they're trying to do the right thing. They're showing up to their court dates. Now, if you can't grant them, you know what I'm saying, asylum or anything like that, and you feel like that they it doesn't justify for asylum, that they're not real asylum seekers, then let them get their days in court. Let the process play out. And then do what you got to do. But a lot of these people are going to court, doing the right thing, thinking that they're going to go to court, and they got their kids in school. They got, you know what I mean? So, like, they're getting grabbed up. Nobody knows what's going on with them because they went to court and all of a sudden they didn't come home. That's wrong. That's wrong. Like I said, it is unsustainable. And it was, it's unfortunate that it's happening, but they're not illegal. They came here under the assumption they were crossing the border legally.
Again, Andrew, this is an easy but perverted argument, which is, and I mean that in the tactical.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. So for homicide, only 0.5% of the deportations. Robbery, 0.7%. What happened to all of these? Where's the criminals? SA, 1.4%. Weapons offenses, 1.6%. So weapon offenses. So I thought all right. I thought they were so dangerous. Dangerous drugs. So drug dealers, 7.6%. DWI, man, they got more people drinking than anything. Assault. All other crimes, which is here. But the largest portion of it, the ones that are being deported, civil immigration violations. That's crazy. That's wild.
Sense, which is nobody's against securing the border unless they're an idiot, okay? Nobody's against ICE enforcing the law. Even that defund the police thing, ICE out is different for these.
It's a civil violation. That's wild. It's a civil violation. I think I see somebody say that, it's like jaywalking or something like that.
People. First of all, it has a budget now that's bigger than Israel's defense fund. So it's a different argument. But if I'm you, I don't think you want to own that. You want to be pro-America, that's fine. You want to say, hey, we're for the people who think I should do it any way they want. I don't think you're going to get a lot of ad dollars for that.
Do we have laws, Chris?
100%.
Do we have laws?
100%. And they're meaningless if you don't
enforce
enforce
those
them.
Ricans have
laws.
citizenship.
And yes, they do.
Puerto Ricans are citizens.
Puerto Ricans
Nobody's
absolutely
arguing
do.
that. My goodness.
But put it this way: when you and I are in the car and we're in a hurry to get to the boat and we're speeding, the cops don't stop us and start smacking us around because how you enforce the law matters.
That's facts. Get them. That might be your reality, but it's not mine. They do smack a certain of us around. So I guess that hasn't changed, Cuomo. Come on now. Yeah, come on now. We seen a lot of that. We seen you know what I mean? We seen some of that.
That's,
of course it does.
That's an important distinction.
And I agree with you on that. But this is a 3-hour-long conversation that we'll have another time.
100%.
Nah, it's going to be longer than that because you're going to backpedal on every single thing. Every single position you take, bro, is just, you're coming from a place of hypocrisy, bro. So I seen this right here. I wanted to watch a little of it, and then we'll get to the next stuff. We'll get to the Tony Yayo and Ja Rule smacking, pillow fighting.
White America, the white conservative America, they've been losing their mind because Bad Bunny stormed into the Super Bowl halftime yesterday and gave us a cultural vibe that broke down and expanded the notion of the America to the Americas. Of course, Apple Music halftime show featured him singing in Spanish, did not sing a single word in English. It featured a number of entertainers who were there, who were watching it all. Of course, Lady Gaga sang, Ricky Martin sang. I mean, my goodness, he pays homage to the sugarcane.
So right here, you see the beginning? That right there was the plantation owners. You heard? That right there was the plantation owners.
History of Puerto Rico. And then again, it made it clear that the Americas is not just the United States. And at the end, he named all of the countries as well. And so it was an incredible performance. I absolutely enjoyed it. Now, of course, while that was happening, Crazy Deranged MAGA was having the Turning Point USA, so-called All-American halftime show.
All right, hey, let's keep it respectful in here. I give everybody from every side a chance to be a mod, because like I said, I'm in between. I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me. This is like, I'm a channel that I like to see what everybody has to say, and whether we agree or disagree, the only way we're gonna make any type of efforts or strides forward if everybody's included. So just keep it civil, man. For real, keep it civil. I know that I know Teresa can't be getting out of pocket because she's always respectful. So just keep it civil, all right? I don't know what Teresa's politics are. She disagrees with me a lot, and that's exactly why I made her a mod, because I want somebody that does disagree with me. I don't want just yes men in here.
Show wasn't even live. We now realize it was taped on Friday. They had 200 people in the room trying to make it seem like it was jam-packed. They couldn't even pack 1,000 people into that joint. It was a joke. Kid Rock was lip-syncing. It was absolutely awful and abysmal. And then they're just feeling themselves by saying, oh, my God, 6 million, 7 million, 10 million watched, where early estimates say that 135 million people watched the halftime show. 127 million watched the game. That means that if that holds up, it will be the largest.
So right here, it shows the Puerto Rican-Mexican rivalry. Everything over here was cultural. Everything he was doing was cultural. It all had to do with culture.
Viewed halftime in history. But boy, these folks have been crashing out. They have been losing their mind. They were going crazy. Donald Trump lost his mind tweeting. He posted on Truth Social. But then they showed video from Mar-a-Lago, and they actually had Bad Bunny's halftime up and not the folks over at Turning Point USA. I was cracking up laughing. I mean, I love to see these people just lose their mind because they couldn't handle all that color. Oh, Lord, right there, they were just losing it. Oh, they were just losing it.
They was loving it. What are you talking about? They was loving that. They can't fly. Do you know they was loving that? You know Trump was loving that shit. Trump was loving that ass. He was loving that booty.
Just losing it. And so I thought it was lovely. But what it goes to show you, and then I told you, my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. And this is a perfect example. The crashing out. Now, if y'all want to see who is the lead cheerleader for white nationalist MAGA, it has to be that troll Megyn Kelly. So she was on Piers Morgan today, and she was just losing. Oh, my God, this was just awful.
Oh, good. All right, I want to see what his take is on what she said. I want to see his take. I want to see what his take is on what she said.
Destroying America. Y'all want to see a deranged white woman? Here you go.
She definitely deranged, man.
To get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Wow.
Okay, what is the national language, officially the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out. That people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right.
so
Yo, she get on my nerves too, but that shit is funny. See, I guess I'm different from a lot of people, bro. I look at this type of shit and laugh, bro. I literally get, unless if I'm drinking. If I'm drinking, I get in my feelings. I get a little upset, get a little emotional, and then I start going crazy. You know what I mean? But this type of shit makes me laugh because I like to see where everybody's coming from. And I like to see what their motives are, bro. I'd rather be in the know than not know. You know what I'm saying? So when I see this type of shit, it just opens my eyes more vigilant, key things to look for. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be in the know.
You're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's
Yo, this lady's tripping.
why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay.
That's how you know the United States is ass backwards. We call something football that barely touches your feet, bro. It's being thrown and passed around. We are definitely fucking ass backwards. I swear to God. That she just pointed out we are fucking ass backwards. Football, that kind of football, something that you barely like 1% of the game, it touches your feet, and we call it football. That's wild. That is fucking wild.
Quintessentially American.
See, we take everything. United States, they take everything, bro. They took the word football because they were too lazy. I mean, soccer, we call it soccer, bro. That's really football. You're playing the whole game, 95% of it with your feet. We play 95% of United States football, throwing it and passing it with our hands. So it's just bugged out. We are fucking ass backwards, bro. We are fucking ass backwards.
Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other.
Yo, I didn't catch that the first time. What did she just say? She's fucking ass backwards too. See, this is how we got here. Fucking idiots like her. Look at what she just said. Listen to her fucking argue. Yo, I did not catch that the first time.
Ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good.
It needs to stay American. Not Spanish, not Muslim. Did she just say not Muslim? So we're talking languages, right? Not Spanish, not Muslim. I didn't know there was a language called Muslim. I know what's it called? It's Arabic that is translated in it. Is she talking about Arabic? Most of the Qurans are done in Arabic, but she said not Muslim like it's a fucking language. She is ass backwards, bro. She is ass backwards. She is fucking ass backwards.
Good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
She's fucking dense, bro. She really is fucking dense. Hold on. Let's see what this panel got to say. What's going on, my... don't tell me my...
Vanessa Williams movie Dance With Me. Y'all, and I posted on Instagram. Y'all, it's so many songs I got on my phone. I don't know what the hell they saying. Matter of fact, Kendrick was last year. I didn't know what the hell half of stuff he was saying. And he was speaking English. So, like, y'all, come on. I mean, these
I know.
crack me up. And
I know.
They can't stand the damn, lift their voice and sing. And so they were mad at Coco Jones. And so now they mad about this. And all they do is just wonk, wonk, wonk. And the NFL, like, they so stupid because the NFL is like, yo, we trying to go international. We trying to get paid. And that's all this is. But these folk are crashing out. And it's like Megyn's sitting here, like, we don't give a damn. And let me be real clear. I'm just being just straight up, no holds barred. Megyn, we don't give a fuck what you think. Like, not one. She can kiss my ass. Matt Walsh can kiss my ass. All them damn white supremacists who been cracking up can kiss
Matt
my
Walsh?
ass. Matter of fact, this one dude got mad. This one bar, he changed all the TV to the Turning Point USA. And the dude was like, I ain't come here for that. He's like, we don't want to hear that. He's like, but y'all serve tacos and margaritas.
Right there. Right there. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, you know, everybody was getting their nachos in halftime and they was eating it while they was watching the game. But all of a sudden, everybody got a fucking problem now.
I mean, this is how dumb these people are. This is how dumb these people are. And I just sit here and go, really? Like, really? Again, Omi Congo, I have not seen these.
Bro, they're not dumb. They know what the fuck they're doing. They just ass backwards. That's what it is. They're just fucking hypocrite bigots, bro. They're just fucking full of bigotry. They'll take, bro, yo, without no respect, no nothing. It's like what the fuck is the word that I'm looking for? The entitlement. The entitlement is just unbelievable. The fucking entitlement. Like, you ever hear this one before? Get the fuck out of my country. Go back to where you came from. I'm waiting for the day for somebody to tell me that. I'm waiting for that fucking day, bro. I ain't gonna put hands on nobody or nothing like that. I'm just going, yo, I hope somebody's recording when somebody tells me that shit. Because, bro, I'm a fucking cook. I'm a cook. Somebody ever tell me that shit.
White folks this mad since Obama wore that tan suit.
Oh, shit. Yo, I was talking about this shit earlier when he wore the tan suit.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right historically.
Right.
And yeah, they were just raging like fire, breathing, raging. And it's interesting, because there's a video of.
Yo, I like this dude. What is his name, man? I just wanted to get both perspectives because I seen the Caucasians do it with Megyn, and so I wanted to get the other side. Somebody with some melanin in it, you know what I'm saying? And then I also got Cuomo and fucking them, and I want to get a perspective. I wanted to get a little bit of flavor, you know what I'm saying? Mix it up a little bit so we can see what everybody's talking about. My brothers and sisters is over here cooking. They cooking. This is my type of vibe, you heard? Yo, what the hell is the name of this? Hold on. I got to subscribe to this dude right here. I definitely got to subscribe to this dude. Sorry, man. I wanted to subscribe to this channel real quick. Hold on. He cooking. What is the name of the channel, though? Hold on. I'm fucking with this dude right here. I'm fucking with this channel. Roland S. Martin. I am fucking, yo, shout out to you, son. I fuck with your channel. I'm fucking with your channel. Y'all motherfuckers spice it up. This is my type of vibe right here. I like this shit. They cooking. They chefing it up.
There of them watching the halftime show at Mar-a-Lago. Lindsey Graham all up in the picture and stuff. And how all of these guys who said they weren't going to watch it because they were going to watch the Real American halftime show, how they know that all of this happened if they didn't watch it themselves? So they were watching it even if they didn't watch it live. They watched.
Oh, you're not seeing the ones in a post? What's going on? You see, yo, to any of my mods, if there is anybody taking down things, unless I approve of it, please, I tried to give everybody a chance. This is an all-inclusive channel. We do not all have to agree. Just, come on. I don't know what's going on here. I do need a certain amount of mods because I can't read every comment while I'm trying to do this stuff. So please, if you are, Twin Spirit, what is it called? Twin Spirit Talker. What is it that you read that, I'm going to have to look up my thing. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know what it is, how many you keep seeing that is not showing up. You guys are going to have me beefing with my mods over here. I can see your chat that's posting, but I can't see them in the live chat. I don't know what's going on. Noah, can you do me a favor? Can you see exactly what she's talking about, fam? I appreciate it, man. Let me know if, you know what? Hold on. Let me check something real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me check something real quick. I'm going to check on my side what you're talking about because I really don't know what you're talking about. All right, so here we go. Here's my live. It seems like it's showing up over here. Roland Martin is definitely spicy. I can't. Oh. You know what? I'm going to take this chat and put it over here. Hold on. Oh, damn, I can't disconnect it. That's some bullshit, bro. That's some bullshit. If you keep seeing that, let me know, all right? I gotta try to continue real quick. But if you keep seeing that, let me know. Because I got way too much stuff up here. If you guys see, like, my all of my screens, they're filled with a bunch of stuff. I'm doing a whole entire production over here. I can see yours. It might be my phone. Oh, okay. All right. Salve, Brazil. What's up? Brazil in the house. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Damn, what the hell's going on? Oh, damn. I got the wrong shit up. Hold on. Yeah, I got the wrong shit up. I got the wrong shit. Let's go.
Watched it later because they had enough to say. And when it comes to this whole thing about, Spanish, she's like Hispanic, Muslim, like just run down the things, whether religion, whether it's language. Okay, you want to talk about, he's speaking in Spanish. You ever go to an opera, Megyn Kelly? You ain't seen it, got no problem with them singing in Italian, right? So it's just like, how are you going to pick and choose here? But when it comes to Bad Bunny and this halftime show, one of the things that made me realize, and you just hinted at it, Roland, about the NFL going international, they have showed that America is actually in decline because you have the #1 artist.
You know what? Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that they don't mind the different language if it's coming from a Caucasian? Or is it that they have an issue when it's coming from, okay, so like Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans have, there's white Puerto Ricans that are Spanish. You know what I'm saying? They're Caucasian. They're like straight up Caucasian. They're from Spain. Like, they don't have indigenous or nothing like that. They have no, yeah. And then, there's also Irish Puerto Ricans. Like, it's basically, it has we have the same colorism that goes on in the States in Puerto Rico. The only difference is in the States, it's English that they speak versus Spanish. But you got your indigenous, you got your Afro-Indigenous, and then you have your African ancestors, right? So it's the same thing in PR. It's just different. And in PR, that stuff be happening, bro. There's a lot of light-skinned Puerto Ricans that don't want to give, so I'm asking you a question. Do you think they don't mind the other language being spoken as long as it's being spoken by like the colonizer, like a Spanish? Because when people say Spanish, the Spanish guy, I hate when people say that because a Spanish person doesn't look like they'll call an Afro-Latino, the Spanish guy, just because he speaks Spanish. But that's not what he is. He's not a Spanish guy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's like me calling somebody from the States just because they speak English, the English guy. Even though they're a complete different complexion. They're not Caucasian. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
In the world, who obviously is Puerto Rican, who is American, but he does not perform in the United States because of his fear of what ICE will do to his fans. So he doesn't even come here. He's the #1 artist. The NFL is playing 8 games this year overseas. So she's talking about American football. We created it. They're looking at possibly having expansion teams overseas. So they're just like with NBA, just like with MLB. So people are moving on from America. And so while you want to embrace whiteness and keep declining, he had a performance that showed what unity is about. People are like, it wasn't political. Everything about that show was political. And it was beautiful, from the diversity, just run down the list. We've been talking about it. And so he represented the America we want to see. He represented the promise of America. He put Puerto Rico on his back. And that is what they are so pissed off about. But at the same time, like you said, we don't care what they think because we're going for it. Because like he said, we are America and we're not going to let them have it.
This brother gets it. This brother gets it. This brother gets it. Yeah. The same thing in Cuba, though. Cuba got the same issue. Cuba got the same issue, as Puerto Rico does. You know what I mean? With the colorism. There's a lot of colorism that goes on. There's a lot. You know what I mean? Azúcar! You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm telling you, man, like, you know, there's a lot of colorism that goes on in both areas, on both islands, and it's no different than the States. It's just the language, you know, the primary language. The colonizers spoke Spanish, not English. That's it. But most Spaniards are blonde hair, blue eyed. They're, you know, they're from the Caucasus Mountains. They're from the Caucasus Mountains. From Russia. There we go. Hey, what up? What up? What up? We got Russia in the building. You know what's funny that you say that? I bet you, all right, if you listen to Russian rap, then you must know my boy Buddha Slim. Tell me, right back and tell me if you know my boy Buddha Slim. He reacts, he's a Mexican, he reacts to all Russian rap. Do you know my boy Buddha Slim? Put it in the comments. I don't like it being played. It's not the artist. Okay, here we go. I don't like it being played. It's not the artist because I think they are also being played. It's the reason was manufactured, divided. Okay, gotcha. Oh, you sent the link?
You are one of the people.
I can't click links, man.
And this includes some of y'all black people who sound like them white evangelicals.
Oh, shit. He about to take it there. He about to get real. He about to get real right now. All right, y'all. Let's go. Let's hear this perspective.
These white conservatives who was just losing it over this on yesterday. This from me, from my heart, deep in my soul, this is what I want to say to y'all.
This brother, I like this guy. I like this motherfucker right here. This is how we are in New York. You know what I'm saying? This is how we are in New York. We all get along. It don't fucking matter, bro. We don't give a fuck what color you is. And we call out our own peoples. We'll call out our own peoples. You know what I'm saying? My father's black, my mom's Puerto Rican, but yo, I still got that shit. Yo, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is, man. He over here saying, y'all sound like, woo! Like I said, there's a lot of Latinos doing the same shit. There's a lot of Latinos. There was a lot of Puerto Ricans. You guys seen it earlier. There was a Puerto Rican that claimed to be from the Bronx that said that, you know, Bad Bunny's mierda, he's trash, he's this, that, and the third. He didn't like it. He agrees with Megyn.
Kiss my entire ass.
Word?
Jolanda.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, bro, you would.
So there you go. So now you guys can see I wasn't lying. I react to music in different languages. I've reacted to a lot of Brazilian funk. They call it funk, but it's hip hop. I reacted to a lot of their, you know, and you know, like I said, bro, it don't matter. If it's a vibe, it's a vibe. I'm not no hypocrite over here, bro. I've reacted to a lot of shit.
I'll admit, man, who can go after Del Reese? But that's not the point. Here's the deal, Roland. First of all, they were.
Nah, there's Afro Mexicans. During the a lot of Mexicans, you know, took slaves in, bro. There's a whole area. You want to see her? Oh, look it. My girl is an Afro. Look, this is her grandmother. She's Mexican. And that's back when they put the straightening in the hair. You know, she needed to get the hot iron. Yeah. Mexican. That's her grandmother. R.I.P. to her. But there definitely is.
Y'all watching it. America is so stuck on capitalism. Why y'all ain't mad that they made a whole bunch of money last night?
Facto.
Yeah, y'all were watching.
See, I fuck with this channel, yo. They look. They agree with exactly what I'm saying. They agree with everything I'm saying, bro. They hitting the same points, man. Yo, hey, great minds think alike, bro.
And I also heard that they were paying actors to go in there to watch the Kid Rock show.
Oh, there you go. Noah's Afro-Mexican, yeah.
But let me say this, Roland. My ex-husband was Colombian. And we think, and I didn't realize how American football is not the most popular sport around the world.
Nah, it's soccer. It's what we call soccer, actual football.
When I was with my ex, and I was married in 91, with my ex, the World Cup, people kill people. You know, the highest paid athletes are soccer players. So not American football. And at the end of the day, the NFL wants to make money. And there are a lot of Latino people that want to pay to watch sports. And what I thought was brilliant about Bad Bunny was that he got people who normally didn't watch football to watch it. My stepson, who is Colombian, was watching the game with us last night. English is not his first language. And when I saw them, like, I didn't know Puerto Rican history like I do today after listening to everybody's commentary, but I saw how it affected my stepson.
I was going to say that too. I noticed a lot of reactions online. There was a guy from Canada that said, bro, the fact that he represented everywhere, like a lot of people were saying, like they were in tears. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to make this a sentimental thing, but I'm just saying because of the representation, just being represented in that way on that global stage meant a lot to every flag that was flown. So if you call that divisiveness, then you got to tell me what I'm missing. Because every flag that was flown was from the Americas, and every flag that was up there felt proud and represented. They felt like they were being represented and seen. Canadians, people from Canada, people from Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, all the flags, you know what I'm saying? Trinidad, Jamaica, you know, Hawaii, not Hawaii, but what's it called? All the, you know, the Virgin Islands, the West Indies, everybody, man, they felt represented. They felt like they were being represented.
He was so happy to see his culture at a major sports event. And
that's funny. They use that Blaxican, yeah.
I saw babies. We had so many people from so many different cultures.
They want them to remain clueless.
Listen, there is never going to be a time where Megyn Kelly can tell me any damn thing, because the shit that just come out of her mouth just lets me know it's polluted. What we saw last night was American. It was so American because our culture, we have so many different cultures that allow this country to be as great as it is. If this country did not have minorities, we wouldn't have the rich history.
Yep.
It was time for the Latinas to have their moment at the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny. Regardless of, I didn't know what he was saying, but I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, get it back.
Oh, yeah. No, there is. There definitely is, though. There is. There's I see what you're saying. There definitely is. There definitely is. There's, it's a little, I forgot the name of the place, man. But they definitely, they have it. They have them just like we do. They have, they have a mixture. Now, they don't have as large of a variety as Puerto Rico, but you know what I mean? You know, they don't have a large amount like Puerto Rico does, but you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we were one of the first slave ports where in Mexico, it was more or less like they were helping the slaves, the ones that were trying to, get freed. And that's why they have that small community. But there are, and then a lot of Aztec, like, are darker skin as well. Mexicans, they're like very, they got that, they got like that darker, you know what I'm saying? They don't look white. They don't look brown either, but they don't look black. They got dark. They look like Indians from India. How they got that complexion. That's how a lot of the indigenous over there look. Wait until some people find out that America does not mean USA. I know. That's what I've been saying this entire life, bro. A lot of these people don't get what they talking about. But
I was like, you better be talking shit about Trump. That's what I kept saying. I was like, I know he talking shit because it sounds like, because the way that I know he talking shit. But I was like, I was so proud to be an American, to see this, to witness this, because we integrate these cultures, whether in the food that we eat or in the places that we travel. So why can't we see it on a big screen? And it always takes a Black person to move the needle. Mm-hmm. You have Jay-Z coming in and diversifying the Super Bowl. Then you have a Black choreographer who created his whole show. Her name is Charm LaDonna. She did Kendrick's show last year. So if we can't have a diverse culture coming in to create these stories that need to be told so we can feel it and be seen, then we're going to have a bunch of fucking pale, whitewashed, whack-ass entertainment. They didn't came over here on stolen land. They not even supposed to fucking be here. So by virtue, they are the ones that should be getting deported illegally. So I don't give a damn how these MAGA people feel. What happened last night, what we saw, needed to be seen, needed to be witnessed, needed to be on our screens, and we need more of that.
And here's the thing. Not every Caucasian you come across is like this. There's a lot of, let me say, racism, colorism in all of our cultures. Let's be honest. Let's be real. I've seen so much crazy shit since the internet's been out. I'm like, damn. I had somebody call me a fucking taco. And I'm like, shit, I never knew what a real taco was until I got with my lady. I didn't know what a real taco was until I got with my lady. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have somebody calling me a fucking taco. And, and I'm like, what the fuck? And hey, man, like there's a lot of colorism, racism within all of our groups, bro. And, we all have to take accountability on that. We really do. Because shit is really divided right now. You got people out there, using certain words and, dog whistles and talking about delineating and doing this and doing that. And just trying to erase like your history and your background. And it's just wow.
Listen, I dance to Shinsia and a lot of Jamaican artists. I don't know what they saying. I dance to soca. I might be salsa.
That's facts, baby girl.
It's a whole bunch of Afro beats. I ain't got no clue what they saying, but it's still a vibe. Yo, I posted on Instagram. Hey, man, Carlos Santana got some songs. I don't know what the hell they saying, but we jamming. So I'm just sitting there trying to understand. I'm like, y'all sitting here tripping. I just think it's stupid. So the white meltdown is hilarious. And I'm going to say it again.
But it's not, like I said, it's not just white people, though, man. I've seen a lot of Latinos and a lot of indigenous Black feeling the same way, man. They weren't happy that I'm like, wow. And I'm talking about Latinos. I could show you, bro, that speak Spanish or whatever that felt the way. And it's like, wow. And you know what I noticed with a lot of us? or a lot of, let me just say immigrants that, they migrate. I notice as soon as they get here, they think they're too good for their own people. It's like they don't want nobody else to succeed. They talk down on their own people as soon as they get over here and they become citizens. It's wild the way it be. It's wild the way some people be. They act like they too good all of a sudden. I see Mexicans do it to each other. I see, Dominicans do it to each other. I see a lot of people do that. Because, they end up becoming a citizen. Now, all of a sudden, they too good. And they start talking about, oh, y'all is this and you is that and whatever. And then they don't check themselves. And, you got, how do I say? They have no grace. You know what I mean? They have no grace. All of a sudden, they're a lot better. All of a sudden, they feel like they're better than. And I think that's what happens with the elites in America, in the United States. And I think that it was programmed this way. And that's the reason why a lot of color came involved and colorism happened, is because that's how the elite stay the elite. They get us pointing fingers at each other while they collecting all the dollars. While we're saying, you're the reason I can't get a job. You're the reason this. You're the reason for this. And you're the reason for that. That's how it happens, man. That's how it's called divide and conquer, man.
Ain't shit y'all can do about it. Y'all can sit here and run your ass and have your little kids
exactly.
rock
And
Clanchella.
PR, they got the same
y'all
thing.
Can do whatever y'all want to. But guess what? We ain't going. I keep trying. Listen, the basis of our book, I said it. The numbers are not turning back. Y'all could try to sit here and hold on all y'all can. And again, and there's some Negroes out there mad as well. This is not right. This is an American event. Man, go sit your ass down.
And he's right on that. He's right. Like I said, Boosie was over there talking, oh, we need Chris Brown, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, damn, Boosie. chill, homie. Like, what's wrong with you?
They didn't want us in the game anyway. Okay? So remember, last year, they bitched about Kendrick. It was too black. It was awful. It was rap. Now, hold up. Last year, you had all kind of flag waving going on. Sam Jackson was dressed up like Uncle Sam. See, it's going to be something else. And so, listen.
Cook.
It was fire. I love it.
Yo, you know what? Let me look that shit up. Hold on. Let me look that shit up. What years did they complain, man? Because this is wild. What years, yo? It was there, because I bet you there was every Super Bowl. I bet you it was every fucking Super Bowl, bro. Hold up. Let me check this. Let me check this out. Let me check something out real quick. I don't even know how to spell conservatives. I spelled that shit wrong. Damn, I need spell check for everything. Come on. Don't give me just this shit. Give me like some other shit, bro. Let's just see the ones that were controlled by conservatives. No Super Bowl controlled by conservatives. NFL private, nonpartisan. Okay. Wasn't Megyn complaining about some shit, bro? Yeah, she didn't complain about Madonna. None of that shit, did she? Whatever. Anyways, it's all good. Let's get to it. All right, so yo, peep this, right? Y'all know Ja Rule. Ja Rule got slapped up. Ja Rule, I think, no, it wasn't Ja Rule got slapped. Yo, he ended up bumping, Ja Rule ended up bumping into Uncle Murda and Tony Yayo. And y'all remember what happened when 50 bumped into him. I guess it was totally different compared to than when Tony Yayo did. So let's go back and get a refresher of what happened last time they bumped into Ja Rule on a plane.
He talking about 50 beat up Ja Rule in Atlanta.
This nigga crazy, man.
Gilly said, hold on, go back to that part.
What happened, man?
50 beat up Ja Rule in Atlanta. Like, he was there. Rest in peace to Chaz. I know 50 ain't really fuck with him like that. Many man, he slim switch sides on me. I'm just truthful, like real street shit. But tell y'all, because y'all a street show, that's why I fuck with y'all. But, like, Ja Rule and them, we there, Chaz there. Chaz like, go in the hotel. Yeah, it was so good. All right, cool. Ja Rule there. This is after 50 got murdered. I don't believe you. Black Child and them there. Nigga, Fifth KO'd that nigga.
Damn, he busted his whole shit.
So look, Ja Rule just come in the elevator. Murder! So look.
Imagine Ja Rule getting busted in the face, but nah, like his big ass voice. Yo, turn it to a high ass pitch, bro. He screamed like a chick, bro. Like, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That shit would be some funny ass shit. He'd be like, ah!
He didn't say that. He didn't say murder.
He said murder.
I'm not a rapper. I never was with this rapper shit, bro. I just was along for the ride. No Diddy. I wasn't with all this rapper shit. You heard? Fifth, he is Southpaw. Fifth is Southpaw.
Hold on. What did nigga running? Wait.
Any rapper want to fight 50?
Wait. How did the nigga run? What did the nigga run up and say?
Murder!
Yo, he wildin'. So, all right? So they caught up with him. All right, so that's Tony Yayo and Murder, right? They talking about when 50 Cent ended up bumping into Ja Rule. So now here's the situation now. Right? So now there's a new situation. Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder recently got into a heated run-in with Ja Rule on a plane. Can you imagine that on a plane? That's some federal shit. I ain't playing with y'all, man. Hell nah. These motherfuckers, yo, they younger than me. I'm 52. They almost my age, though. They getting up there. They getting up there in age to be playing these games. They getting a little too old to be playing these fucking games. You know what I'm saying? Niggas made Ja Rule get off the plane, Uncle Murder says. Ja Rule later commented on the incident on X. I popped out on these punks by myself on a plane. Laughed my ass off, pussy ass nigga, threw the pillow at Yayo's head. Cause they fucking pillow fighting on a plane before takeoff. These motherfuckers is pillow fighting. They acting like they had a sleepover or some shit, bro. These motherfuckers acting like children, bro. Like, fuck is we talking about? Like, are you serious? How the fuck you do that shit? Ja typed, knocked your hat all off shit was hilarious. So he said he knocked his hat right off his grill, you heard? Right off his melon. He smacked his fucking, that's what he's saying. He biffed him with a fucking goose fucking. He put him in a sleeper. He slept that motherfucker, you heard? He slept that motherfucker. That's what he's saying. Hey, let's get let me click on this shit. Tony Yayo, Uncle Murder. Look at John's face, bro. So it seems like they was behind him fucking with him. You know what I mean? They was behind him fucking with him, messing with him, because they ended up on the same flight. They in first. Can you imagine this shit? Motherfuckers acting like this in first class. That's why us niggas can't go nowhere, you heard? Because we be acting a fucking fool sometimes, man. Like, how the fuck we gonna get on a plane and start doing some shit like this, bro? We be showing our ass a lot, bro. Like, peep this motherfucking shit.
Suck ass job on the plane. Trying to punch suck ass up.
He say you old ass.
Fucking sucker. Plane mode.
Regulations prohibit the use of cellular networks during flight. The use of Wi-Fi to make video or voice calls.
Yo, that's wild. That's wild. Can you imagine a bunch of fucking old men calling each other old? That's some wild ass shit. That is some wild ass shit, right? So now people, right? Uncle Murder, this is what he posts right here. He posting this right here. Let me see if I can pull this up, bro. Get that shit bigger. Hold on. Can I make this shit bigger or not? What the fuck? All right, so Uncle Murder says, hold on, let me do this. I could do this right here. Uncle Murder says, Ja got off the plane, laugh out loud. I took his seat. And then it says, at Real Sports Show. Okay, so I guess they trying to get everybody, involved in this. First episode out now, The Real Report. All right, that kind of sound crazy, though. What are they promoting shit? And I don't see Ja being down with that promotion, though. Like, how the fuck you expect me to help y'all motherfuckers? Y'all could collapse my entire company, bro. Y'all made I had to file for Chapter 11 because of y'all motherfuckers. What the fuck? Like, I'm going to help y'all, so I don't see him helping them out. I think they really popped into each other. So this is Ja Rule. I popped on these punks by myself on the plane. Laugh out loud, pussy ass, whatever. I can't say all of that. I threw the pillow at Yayo's head because you soft. He calling you soft. Huh? You heard? He calling you a... All right. Knocked your hat off. Oh, shit was hilarious. Then Ja says again, via TMZ, hi, Ja, Jamie. From TMZ reaching out for comment regarding a Delta flight. You were on Sunday morning. I guess this is TMZ hitting him up. I don't know. It seems like it's coming from his shit, though. Witness tells us from San Francisco to JFK, where Ja Rule got into an argument with Tony Yayo on the flight. Ja was the aggressor, it says. It's saying that he was the aggressor. He was no punk bitch. Yo, profanity saying he wanted a fight. Then throwing a pillow at Tony Yayo. Crew stepped in and pulled both guys off the plane for a bit. So I guess they both got kicked off. Can you imagine that, being a grown-ass man getting kicked out like you a fucking toddler? Yayo yelled back, that planes are federal offenses, territory, and he did nothing wrong. So Yayo cop it, please. He like, yo, don't kick me out, man. I can't eat my fucking flaming duck like that, you know what I'm saying? I can't be going across seas eating my flaming duck if you get me kicked off of this shit, man. You're going to have to go get another passport, you heard? Whole team push. That's what he said, right? Then 50 steps in. Of course, King Troll himself had to step in and give his 2 cents, which makes it 48. He was by himself. So he had to make a scene so they could remove his scary ass. Laugh out loud. Yayo said, suck my The stewardess said I have to bleep myself, bro. So he said, yeah, man, the alphabet stewardess, it's going down. That's wild. That is wild. Okay, so we got more footage, right? So this is Ja on one, you heard? This is Ja right here. He on one. He bugging. He going crazy. I think there's footage. There's not footage of him bugging out? Where the footage, man? Where the footage? Hold on. Let me see. Where the footage at? There's got to be footage of him bugging out, bro. Come on, man. There's got to be footage of this motherfucker bugging out, bro. Because I know they were saying that shit, and then they showed that shit, you heard? Where the footage? All right, here we go. Here's the footage. We got the footage. We found the footage. So this is what happened after all that, right? So here Ja bugging. Here Ja going crazy.
Let's shake. Come on. Let's shake. Let's shake. Let's shake.
He's saying we're shaking.
Let's shake. Come on. Let's shake. Let's shake. Let's shake.
So you got Uncle Murder over here. You got Yayo over here. He about to get jumped. You heard? He about to get jumped. And he's still ready to pop off, though. He ready to pop off, you heard?
Come on. Let's shake. Let's shake. Let's shake.
He snuffed him with a pillow. And he about to pop off. So, I guess what happened was Ja's issue is like, yo, you didn't show the entire shit. I need you to show the entire footage. And the entire footage shows that, nah, Ja did get up. But can you imagine that? Ja be working out, bro. Ja ain't no slouch. Murder and Yayo, bro, all they do is smoke weed and drink, bro. And eat fucking, you know what I'm saying, fried duck and all of this shit overseas. You heard? Ja, he in shape, you heard? If he pop off, if he squabble, y'all, I think you'll let off on both them motherfuckers, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm against the violence. But hey, if you gotta pop off, do your shit. Ja show, and Ja not fucking 4 foot nothing. He ready to go off on Uncle Murder and fucking Yayo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with both of y'all? So yeah, man. I think if he went off on him, bro, I'm telling you, he would have got busy. He definitely would have got busy. But now look, it's crazy because this is all like they got this this is their first episode, right? To their fucking podcast. And these motherfuckers are already about to break up, bro. And that's the problem when you have a talker. Like, everybody used to talk shit about the Joe and Jada podcast because Fat Joe, all he does is talk. And Jada is more calm, cool. So Jada just let Joe talk. But when you got two people that like to talk a lot, you're going to bump heads. You're going to interrupt each other. But now New Yorkers, we normally interrupt each other anyway. If you see us talking, bro, we just talk over each other and we say whatever it is we got to say. It sounds like it's a fucking, a mess hall. It sounds like you in a cafeteria, bro. Only two motherfuckers, like, we yelling at each other, like we talking to each other across the street and shit. And you right there in front of our face. You know what I'm saying? But we we can't hear. And then we talk with our hands, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're a bunch of mutes. You heard? So you would think that we deaf. The way that we be talking, yelling, and doing all of this shit, you would think we was deaf. Now peep this. This is their first fucking episode.
Eve.
And yo, I swear to God, bro, I don't know if it's going to last. Y'all tell me what y'all thoughts is. I'm going to let this shit play.
Eve. Nigga, I'm just shouting out Eve Rivera. What the fuck is wrong with you? Nigga,
you know how
all I said was Eve.
Yo, you know how people... Yo, look,
all I said was Eve. That's my brother.
Yo, you know what Kill Tony told me? He said what makes a podcast whack is when somebody keep cutting you off. And he's stupid.
Yeah. I'm glad that everybody out there watching know he's
Shout to Kill Tony. That's the best advice.
This nigga's the king of cutting people off. Go ahead.
I'm good.
Go ahead.
Get
the fuck out of here.
I'm about to be good.
Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead.
Volume. We could do this shit myself. I'm dead ass serious. Yo, Hollywood, you think I'm playing? I'm not.
Yo, this guy's crazy.
I'm dead ass making this shit whack.
Damn, what you was talking about, yeah?
Bro, you don't need to drink no more on the podcast.
Get the fuck.
And that shit will definitely fuck up your podcast because I did a lot of lives that I was embarrassed of, man. I had to get off that shit and say, what the fuck did I just do, bro? That's why you can't be drinking on that shit, bro. You be wilding out, bro. You don't understand what's going on, and you be acting out of fucking pocket. See what I'm saying? He said you can't drink no more on the podcast, you heard? Like, yo, now this goes to show the energy that they on. And it's just crazy because everywhere you seen them, they was going around, promoting their podcast. And you know what I really feel like it is? And that's what I felt with Fat Joe until, you know, I started seeing the dynamic. I said, it's going to work because of Jada. Jada real cool, whatever. But they had their little issue with that too. But some people are just better, and everybody does this. They soup these guys' head up when they see them in an interview, doing an interview. Some people are better being the interview, you know what I'm saying? Being the interviewee, not the interviewer, because they like to talk a lot. So they make, you know what I'm saying? They're great. They're charismatic when they're being interviewed, and they got the great stories, and they make it live. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get you in tune. And then when people be like, yo, you'd be dope on your own podcast. You'd be dope if you had your own podcast. Y'all should get a podcast. And then when they do, you realize they're better off being interviewed because that's where they shine. Now, look it. This ain't the same Tony Yayo that you see on Vlad. This ain't the same Tony Yayo that you seen on Joe and Jada. This ain't the same Tony Yayo that you seen, you know what I'm saying? It's different now. It's different.
You've been drinking too much.
I'm good though.
You've been drinking too much.
Nah, I'm good. You cut me
It's
off.
the Branson.
Every time
It's
I
the
have
Branson.
every time I have a good explanation.
What was you just talking about right now?
Nigga, your dumb ass just made me stop, stupid. Fuck is you talking about?
Oh, this guy right here is
nah,
crazy.
for real. I'm not for
This
real.
guy's crazy.
Nah, you tripping.
This guy's crazy. What was you just talking?
Yeah, see, Yayo a little, he feeling a little too nice. He in the emotional state. Where murder tipsy, but he understand what's going on. That's why he trying to pull back a little, but
Yo, he had too much drinks tonight. This is what y'all gotta understand about murder, right?
Okay.
Oh, now you gonna talk about me. Now you want to talk about get the fuck out of here.
Can I get 2 words out?
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can't even get 2 fucking words.
Go ahead,
Yo,
yeah.
You're terrible tonight.
Go ahead.
This shit,
Go ahead, yeah.
This first episode.
Go
whack.
ahead. Go
But look,
that's their first episode. That's their first fucking episode. And Joe and Jada helped them ink that deal with Netflix. You heard? They got a Netflix deal and everything. And so here you go right here. This is them. It's a little calm, a little cooler. I think this was probably prior to this, before they started getting nice. I don't know, man. Maybe they had too many nips on the plane. Whatever, man. Maybe he got a concussion from that pillow, yo, when Josh slapped him upside the head. I don't fucking know. His hat's still sideways. Who the fuck knows?
one thing about hip hop, you gotta understand, you gotta pick a side. Yo,
No middlemen.
When I mean pick a side, is like you like shout to Cardi, but you was on Nicki tour. You can't do that. You gotta figure out where you're gonna be at.
If Fifth hit me, Nick called, we popping out tonight, we rolling. I fucks with Cardi. That's my sis.
But in hip hop, you
That's
gotta
why I
pick a
told
side.
Offset, leave her
On the
alone,
low,
nigga.
on the
Stop
low,
trying to
they
get her
not-
money.
You gotta choose a side in hip hop.
Okay.
If you say, okay, cool, I'm gonna go do this with Cardi and then go do this with Nicki, it's not gonna work.
I'm not
out.
doing.
Let me finish talking.
I'm not doing anything with Cardi though. But go
Because
ahead.
artists take shit very personal.
Definitely
you know
do.
that. You an artist, we know they take shit very. You can't fuck with both sides. You can't fuck with the ops.
All right, bro. The beef ain't that serious. I can understand if there was some pain put behind it, people lost lives. But come on, just because one side don't mess with the other, I mean, to me that shit is corny, bro. To me that shit is corny. I don't see. I mean, I get it. Like if you G Unit and motherfuckers like, you know, say, hey, you know, and you go do something with Murder Inc. I get it. Like that right there is betrayal. But come on now. If you got two artists that don't like each other, you go, it don't matter. You just giving them a verse. That's your money. That's called business. But yo, look at, yo, my boy want to be captain of the ship. Look at your boy over here, bro. I think he wanted to fly the plane. Look at Yayo's fucking, what is this shit? This is his Wikipedia, yeah? Motherfucking Captain Yayo. That's wild, bro. That shit is wild. That shit is wild. I think I'm done. Anyway, here's the Super Bowl numbers. If you notice, with the Super Bowl, all the top streamers are melanated. All the top Super Bowls that were melanated people. So I don't understand why anybody upset. You know? Hey, it is what it is. Michael Jackson was at one time, but hey, y'all already know how that goes. He had that skin thing. You know? But not to switch topics. Actually, I ended up finding it here, right? That whole thing that I was asking about the Super Bowl. Remember how I said it? Did they complain about anybody else? Well, here are the facts. Obviously, we know about this one, the Bad Bunny one. They complained with Rihanna. The Federal Communication Commission, the FCC, received over 100 complaints from viewers who described the performance as overly sexual and indecent for a family audience. Specific criticism highlighted genital grabbing and choreography that some deemed an affront against God's law. So you definitely know that was a conservative. You definitely know that was a conservative that put in that one, against God's law. So then what did they say when, I wonder what they said when Michael Jackson was up there, because you want to talk about crotch grabbing. Michael Jackson, yo, that shit's moved. Like, that's his signature right there. You know what I'm saying? He be getting the audience pregnant, you heard? He be getting the audience pregnant when he be out there. All right. So they also had criticisms with J-Lo. This performance drew approximately 1,300. Oh, so this had more. So this had more than Rihanna's. This had 300 more from the FCC complaints for being borderline. Oh, they calling it this? Nah, that's wild. And obscene. Politically conservatives took issue with the use of lighted orbs resembling cages, which were interpreted as a critique of the Trump administration's border policies. Are you fucking serious? See how soft they is, man? Jenna Ellis, a legal advisor to Trump at the time, argued the show exploited and demeaned women. So conservatives, again, you know what I noticed? They call everybody snowflakes. They call everybody this, that, and the third, but they can't take their own criticism, man. Like, look how offended they get, bro. Look how offended they get. So when Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and M went on, while largely celebrated for its tribute to hip-hop, some conservative pundits criticized the show as pro-gang or anti-police. Eminem notably drew attention for taking a knee, the Colin Kaepernick thing, during the performance, a gesture synonymous with protest against racial injustice. That's wild, bro. That's wild. All right. Wow, they even complained with Beyonce? What was the complaint with Beyonce? What the fuck are we talking about? So they complained with Beyonce? Destiny's Child? Are you kidding me? Beyonce Formation performance was widely criticized by conservatives for its Black Panther-inspired costumes. Are we serious? Wow. And perceived anti-police messaging. It led to calls, boycotts, and remains a frequently cited example of political halftime shows. Are you fucking kidding me? Because they had Black Panther outfits on, and that means it's anti-police? Y'all don't remember what the police were doing back then? The police were anti-black back then, anti-Latino. I could show you a lot of times where they beat the shit out of us. They sick them dogs on us. They did all of that shit. So what are we even fucking talking about, bro? Why is anybody getting upset about that? That's history. Now, this one's understandable. The Janet Jackson one's understandable. That's Nipplegate. We see some, you know what I'm saying? That one I could see them calling, getting all upset, for, having their tatas out. You know what I'm saying? The infamous wardrobe malfunction resulted in, 500,000 FCC complaints and record 3.5 million settlement for indecency. So they had to pay. They had to cough up $3.5 million. This was actually the show that Kid Rock was on. It became a primary rallying point for the family values movement of the early 2000s. Okay. Yes, conservative and family advocacy groups complained extensively about Madonna's 2012 Super Bowl halftime show. While Madonna herself was relatively cautious during the performance, the backlash centered on the indecent actions of her guest performer and general shock value associated with the lineup. Key complaints. Here's the complaints that they had on it. MIA gave him the middle finger. The most significant controversy occurred when guest rapper MIA extended her middle finger toward the camera and used a muffled obscenity during the song Give Me All Your Lovin'. Okay. The Parents Television Council, PTC, a conservative nonprofit, blamed both the NFL and NBC for hiring performers they claimed based their careers on shock, profanity, and retaliation. What the fuck? Why is this? Yo, I got to see one at least. Come on. If liberals are the softy, I got to see one from Democrats on here. FCC complains that Federal Communications received over 200 complaints from viewers. Many of these came from parents who describe the performance as tasteless and unfit for children, with some viewing the gesture as an insult to American families. Okay. Religious and cultural criticism. Critics noted that the subversive nature of Madonna's performance like a prayer. Okay, like a prayer. Come on. I don't know how controversy that was, but all right. A song that had previously sparked massive religious backlash and boycotts in the late 1980s. Some viewers also criticized the world peace message and the end of the show's unintentionally hilarious or insincere. Okay. All right. That's just wild to me. That's really wild to me. The promotion of drugs that titled Madonna's album at the time, MDNA, was criticized by the drug charities and some conservative commentators for being a thinly veiled pun on the club. All right. The ecstasy drug, I guess. They got upset over that. They got upset just from the naming of it. That's just wild. The NFL took incident extremely seriously, eventually seeking $16.6 million in damages from MIA for breach of contract and for tarnishing the league's reputation. Public apologies. Both NFL and NBC issued formal apologies immediately following the game, with NBC admitting that their broadcast delay system failed to blur the inappropriate gesture. All right. So, as you can see, I think conservatives have issues with almost every halftime show, except for the ones that were from the UK. I mean, it doesn't seem like they had an issue with any of Michael Jackson's halftime shows. This is all I'm getting here. So, yeah, at the end of the day, they took a lot of issue with almost every halftime show. Madonna, I guess she was too much. Dr. Dre was too much. Beyonce representing a Black Panther suit, you know what I'm saying, was too much. Kendrick was too much. They got upset over the Kendrick halftime show. Over here, they was upset about that. I mean, I don't think there's anything that these people don't get upset about. You know, about Super Bowl, 100 complaints. I mean, that's just wild. I mean, this is what she looked like, y'all. This is what she looked like. I don't get what the big deal is with this. But this is what they called indecency. That's what they're saying. I don't get what's indecent about this. This is what they took issue with. This is what they're saying they took issue with. I don't see no skin, no nothing. Now, I don't know how the performance went. I'm assuming it stayed like this. But why they get upset? Let me read some comments. I attended 2020 Super Bowl. J-Lo and Shakira booty danced their way through halftime. Not sure Bad Bunny show expounded much on sexuality of the last several years. Out of all Super Bowl performance dead, I'm guessing it was the Trumpies, considering he spoke badly about her before she performed. Okay. So there you have it, y'all. There you have it. I guess they use it as a political weapon. If you disagree with them, if you disagree with their candidate or their views, they're going to use that against you. And that's wild because, I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. To me, it's ridiculous. I mean, Nobody gets mad when Garth Brooks plays. Nobody gets mad when all these other people play. YouTube, Bono, all of that. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody made a stink. Nobody got mad. Nobody said they from the UK. They not American. We wasn't upset about that. So why all the virtue signaling now? Makes absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely none at all. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But that being said, man, I'm going to get up out of here. The kids are home from school. I've been on for a while. And, yo, I appreciate all of y'all, man. Stay blessed, man. Learn to love each other, man, and be more tolerant. Be more tolerant with your neighbor, man. Try to understand each other. I get it. It's like, yo, I'm not trying to understand these. But, yo, try to find out where they're coming from. Sometimes you'll realize that there's more to it than just what's on the surface. You know what I mean? Like Megyn Kelly, she seemed angry. But I think there's more to it than, her just being a racist bigot. I think there's a lot more to it than that, man. I think she's angry. I think she feels like she's losing something. And she don't want to accept anything new. She doesn't want nothing new. She does not like change. So that being said, man, like I said, try to be more tolerant, more understanding to your neighbor. We might get along better. Y'all already know we divided right now. We 100% divided. We got to do better to try to understand each other. We got to do better to be more tolerant in our differences and in the mixture of cultures. We got to embrace each other. Nobody's saying that you got to go over there and cook yourself rice and beans after watching Bad Bunny or eat tostones or whatever. Nobody's saying that, you know what I mean? You got to eat oxtail or whatever. Like, nobody's saying you got to do any of that, man. Nobody's saying you got to go make meatloaf or enjoy meatloaf or apple pie. What I'm saying is, hey, man, that's cool. You do your thing. You got something different. I do my thing. I'm not mad at you for that. You heard? I'm not mad at you for that. So the more that we learn to try to understand each other, and that's why I don't mind when people talk and express their opinions in my chat. I don't get upset. I don't want nobody getting kicked out of the chat because I want to hear where everybody's coming from. You know what I'm saying? That's just in my nature. I want to hear where you coming from. I want to know where your head is at. You heard? Even if we disagree. Doesn't matter. You could disagree with me, say, yo, you wrong, you dead wrong. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's how you feel. Now tell me why. So I can understand where you coming from. You get what I'm saying? And that's it, man. Love, respect, y'all. I'm out of here, you heard? I'm going to spend time with my kids, my girl, my babies. All right.